According to the CMS, there are government programs available that can help you pay for your medical expenses. Choosing the right Medicare plan is a really big deal. The wrong choice can cost you a lot of money, and the right choice can put more money in your pocket. Call one of our licensed representatives today. At 65 Plus Medicare, our free service can show you a plan that will maximize your Medicare benefits, ensure you are taking advantage of all available government assistance programs, and save you money. Call now.
800-343-4379. 800-343-4379. 800-343-4379. That's 800-343-4379.
Not all benefits listed may be available on all plans or in a single benefit package. Enrollment in the described plan type may be limited to certain times of the year unless you qualify for a special enrollment period. No obligation to enroll.
With more practical tips and useful advice, this is the Old Farmer's Almanac Radio Report for Wednesday, April 15th, the 106th day of the year. Actress Emma Watson has a birthday, and Jackie Robinson played his first regular season game with the Brooklyn Dodgers on this day in 1947. If you like to experiment with non-traditional garden plants, ground cherries might make for an interesting project. They're sometimes called husk tomatoes or Cape gooseberries, depending on the variety. Most are at home in warm to subtropical regions, but some types do well in cooler climates too. A nice addition to salads and desserts, the flavor is often compared to strawberry or pineapple. The roots can be invasive though, so we'd recommend growing them in containers. And that is the Old Farmer's Almanac Radio Report, gardening ideas at almanac.com.
Every morning, the McDonald's kitchen is a symphony. A sizzling, toasty McMuffin symphony. Cue the eggs. While other grab-and-go breakfast sandwiches are kind of one note. It's time to wake up breakfast. Wake up your breakfast with a fresh cracked egg on every McMuffin sandwich every day at McDonald's.
Germania Insurance Company, serving Texans like since 1896, is proud to show you how to take advantage of valuable savings. When you choose George Keeling Insurance, you're choosing a name you recognize and trust. Come in and visit with me, Iris Keeling. Let me introduce you to our companion life policy discount. In addition to the 15% that you save on your combined home and auto policy, with the purchase of a life policy, it will also qualify you for an additional 10% off on your dwelling policy. Call me at 894-4770. George R. Keeling Insurance, your Germania insurance provider.
Good Morning Texas is on the air on KLVT AM 1230 and online at klvtradio.com.
It is the most beautiful product we have ever made.
With your host with the cute boots, Tanya Moody.
I'm at the top of my game. I'm right up there with the big dogs. Girls, come on. Believe they're saving the world to the men? I don't think so.
News coverage with Jody Rose.
Yeah. If you could just go ahead and make sure you do that from now on, that would be great.
And sports with Michael Wiest.
Hello, 911 emergency. There's a handsome guy in my house. Oh, wait a second. Cancel that. It's only me.
It's time for news, weather, sports, events, interviews. Settle in, grab your coffee, and here we go with Good Morning Texas on the Best in the West, KLVT, and online at klvtradio.com.
Good morning, Texas. Welcome in. It's 33 degrees outside the KLVT studio this morning under a partly cloudy sky. Wind out of the southwest at 9 miles an hour. Relative humidity 69%. We're going to try to get up into the mid-60s today. Outside, we passed the mid-60s hours ago. In here, we're going to get up into the mid-60s today outdoors. And we should be back into the 70s for Thursday. About upper 70s for the weekend and low 80s for next week.
If it wasn't so cold in this room, I wouldn't have to have a heater.
If it wasn't so cold in this room.
Yes. It's cold in this room.
I would like to quote the band Smash
You have
Mouth.
on shorts.
That's why I'm wearing shorts.
And a short sleeve shirt.
This is exactly the reason why.
So
when I get ready to leave, I've actually got to put on more clothes to get out of the building. I'd like to quote the band Smash Mouth when they said, might as well be walking on the sun.
Oh, quit.
Anyway, good morning, everyone. It is April the 15th. Today is tax day. Well, it was tax day. It's not anymore.
See, nobody knows.
Because with,
yeah.
on this.
It's not COVID tax day.
4/15/2020, we can't file the 1040 because of the 19.
Did you know
Anyway.
you couldn't file your payroll tax sheet until the 15th either?
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't pay my minions.
Yes, I know. That would be me.
I don't pay my entourage either.
Oh, okay.
They're paid in basking and free sneakers.
Basking.
And free sneakers.
Oh,
That's what
free
entourages
sneakers.
get, free sneakers.
I see. Basking and free sneakers. Boy, I'm glad I'm not that.
Good morning, Tanya. Stop it. If we have to reject your application one more time. I mean, I literally have people now who are just rejecting your application to be in the entourage.
Oh,
it's a little ridiculous.
Oh,
it's a little
yeah.
unbecoming,
That sounds like me. Totally sounds like me.
Good morning, Tanya Moody.
Mm-hmm. Good morning, Michael Weiss. Good morning, Jody Rose.
Good
Welcome
morning.
to this delusional Wednesday morning.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Today is National Glazed Spiral Ham Day.
Ooh.
No idea why glazed
Do you know
spiral ham needs its own day. But
Do
it
you
does.
know who can fix a good ham? Mayor Barbara Penner, who's on this morning, she can fix a good ham. I'll tell you what, she's brought more than one of those to Marigolds. Now, I have to ask you, for all the listening audience, can our Marigolds cook or what?
They can. I'm telling you. You just need to move your meetings. Thursday doesn't work for me. Because I'm at Lions Club on
Again,
Thursday.
it's
if you
all
could move
about
those
you,
to
Michael.
Like Tuesday,
All about
that would be
you.
awesome.
Mm-hmm.
If the Marigolds could move to Tuesday at lunch, that would be better for me.
Oh, better for you?
Really.
Okay, well,
So
we're not going to keep
and
that
get
in
on
mind,
that
but
for you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Well, as of now, they're not meeting anyway.
Yeah, we're not meeting anywhere
True.
right now, so we have to
And
keep
had
those
lunch with my
sweet
Lions
little
for,
Marigolds safe.
months. It is, because it's National Tax Day, it's also National Rubber Eraser Day. So, you know, when you're going to do your taxes, you got to have your eraser, which is a little weird because, you know, I do most of my stuff. My brother does most of my stuff, to be fair, because he's the banker. But I remember my dad, even with a farm, sitting at the table doing his taxes with a pencil on a tax form and a piece of scratch paper. My dad didn't even use a calculator. That was my dad's math brain.
Wow.
It's crazy. I didn't want to bring this up because it sort of gives me a sinking feeling. Today is Titanic Remembrance Day. Too early for the joke?
Ba-dum-bum.
It gives me a sinking feeling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
please
fun,
don't.
wasn't it?
Please don't explain
It's fun?
jokes. That's just. That's
Sometimes
bad.
I feel like I
it's
should.
bad form. No.
You know what else today is?
What else is today?
Take a Wild Guest Day.
Your annoying Tanya Moody Day.
Take a Wild Guest Day.
Oh, that's the day?
It is actually Take a Wild Guest Day.
Okay.
Like
gotcha.
who's on first kind of thing.
Gotcha.
Going on.
Okay.
It's Take a Wild Guest Day
All
today.
right.
So what I want you to do is I want you, when you have an opportunity, watch Jeopardy and just yell stuff at the TV. But you have to have people in the room to do so.
It's true. It's not even fun if you don't.
Because if you don't just yell random stuff at the television, I'm going to tell you one of my favorite games in college was sitting around the house watching Jeopardy, having a glass of milk, obviously whole milk, chilled, you know, because that's what we did, nourishing stuff. Anyway, and just yelling random stuff at the Jeopardy TV.
I'm guessing you rock at Jeopardy.
I'm pretty good at Jeopardy.
Because you
I
have
actually
got
am.
more useless knowledge in your brain
lot.
than anybody on the planet.
If it pops up sports, if it pops
Yeah.
up movie stuff, if it pops up history, geography, some science.
Not
but when
word of
I
the
see
day.
art or literature pop up, I'm
Forget
like,
about,
I'm in.
forget about
I mean, if I
it.
was on Jeopardy and Alex Trebek said, art, I'd just be like, okay, call me after the next break. I'll be back. You guys can do this without me.
True story.
See you later. So there you go.
All right.
I'm sorry I had to bring up Titanic Day. I know that just hits you like an iceberg. But welcome in. It's 35 after the hour, 7 o'clock.
Welcome in, everyone.
Hey, it's not a bad movie for like the last 10 minutes. The
Hey,
last 10 minutes are great.
Hey,
It's a
back
great
it
film.
down,
That's 10 minutes.
Sparky.
Sparky. Okay, slugger. Okay, champ.
I happen to like Titanic.
It's also 1950s insult day. Back it down, Sparky. You watch yourself, Junior.
We got to take a moment here this morning to catch you up from last night and early morning news. We got some morning catch-up brought to you by Wanda's Designs. A 120 Clubview Drive, keeping you in stitches. You can give them a call right there in store. You can call them on the cell, 441-6531, and they will fix you up for all your monogramming and medical needs.
Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer claimed Sunday that the state's updated coronavirus stay-at-home order doesn't ban purchasing child car seats in stores after Meghan McCain slammed the governor in a retweet. The Michigan governor, if you haven't been following this, she has gone completely off the rails.
The Michigan
the governor of Michigan.
Uh-huh.
If you've been listening to Dennis Prager's show, he has just been all over the Michigan governor because you can't buy gasoline for your motorboat in the state of Michigan. So although you can go fishing, and remember, Michigan has like a lot of lakes, like Great Lakes,
yeah.
in fact. You can go fishing, but you can't buy gas for your motorboat. And nobody can figure out why. Anyway, Meghan McCain, the governor tweeted back to Meghan McCain, "Hi, Meghan, our stay home, stay safe executive order does not ban purchasing car seats for children," Whitmer tweeted to the View co-host. McCain had tweeted earlier, "Guess it's good I don't live in Michigan. Otherwise, how would I transport my child home from the hospital, Governor Whitmer?" The Post showed the sign in a front of a car seat in Walmart saying, "Items in the non-essential area are no longer available for purchase." We heard stories of aisles being closed in big stores.
Yeah.
And one of those, now we haven't seen that here.
No.
And I don't anticipate we will. I think the governor has gotten just about as far as the governor's willing to go here. And I honestly think he's outside his comfort zone now. But Michigan actually shut down aisles.
I think he's tap dancing reopening personally.
Oh, I think so as the president. McCain, who's expecting her first child, added, "Being pregnant during this time is insanely stressful. We're all doing our best. Shame on you for doing this, Governor Whitmer." Whitmer's most recent stay-at-home order, which went into effect April 9th, asks stores to stop selling non-essential products. Now, I don't know how I have a hard enough time defining non-essential business. Because as I've said once,
I hate that term.
Or I've said it 1,000 times, if you own a business, your business is essential to you and your employees and your customers. It really doesn't make it is what the business is. It's definitely essential to you.
Well, and here's...
Now we're talking about non-essential products.
Yeah.
This is a power grab, folks. That's all it is. Power grab.
Yeah.
And we've heard a lot of people on different talk shows out of the state of Michigan going, this is bogus. I mean, Governor Whitmer's gone completely off the rails.
Well, and the thing of it is people will go so far to be accommodating, but they will only go so far. And then you're starting to really interrupt their flow, their life, their livelihood, et cetera, and they will only go so far.
There is a point of diminishing return.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just having this conversation with somebody yesterday.
And you know what? If you're that person that did a good job on your taxes, you got a nice tax return, you're like, you know what? Hey, I've got some money. I'm pretty secure right now. I feel like I can go buy a new entertainment center. And then you go to the store, and they say, well, the governor says you can't. You're like, oh, yeah? Well, guess what, Governor? We're going to there's recalls going on in Michigan right now. Michigan and Illinois right now are a hotbed for recall petitions because the people have had enough of this. I mean, Governor Newsom in California is talking about reopening already, although they closed before everybody else did, which oddly enough seems like a great idea considering the massive population of the homeless in California. Because if this would have gotten in the homeless population, it would have been massive.
Oh, yeah.
But Governor Newsom, oddly enough, closed very quickly. But they're California is talking about reopening. And you haven't heard word one from Whitmer in Michigan about reopening. It's very strange.
Is it Gavin Newsom that has that raspy voice? It sounds like he's lost his voice 75,000 times.
Yeah, I think so. That's the guy.
Yeah.
The mayor of a northern California city says he is stepping down after posting social media messages comparing Trump supporters to members of the Ku Klux Klan.
What? Okay.
Angry residents in Auburn, California, 33 miles northeast of Sacramento, a.k.a. up in the further north part of the state where you're getting into more rural and agricultural areas, confronted Mayor William Kirby during a city council meeting conducted via video because of coronavirus concerns, according to Fox 40 out of Sacramento. Kirby appeared remorseful as he addressed the council and residents, according to the report. I spent 40 years dedicating my life to the service of the community of Auburn as a physician and through my volunteers' efforts. Am I perfect? No, we're all a little flawed, Kirby said, as he admitted to the council that some of the recent posts were misguided.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he didn't go as far as to say, you know what, I think Trump supporters are racists, or I think Trump supporters are mean, or they're deplorable. No, he actually posted a picture of Ku Klux Klan members. He went that far.
Wow.
Kirby blames Trump for his frustration. Of course you do. Why wouldn't you? Gotta blame somebody. It certainly can't be your fault. I just love this idea of, well, you know what? We're all a little flawed. But I blame this guy.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. One of the posts, the mayor, who is also a physician, shared a photo of Ku Klux Klan members. Good news for Trump supporters is that most of them already own masks. That was the quote.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow. How do people like that even get elected? Help me out with that one. Wow. So dumb.
Talk about
so dumb.
Juvenile insult.
Yeah, it's like, really? And then to say, well, I'm blaming the president for my frustration. Really? What? The president came, hit you in the head, made you dumber? That can't be right. I don't think that happened. Anyway, what else is going on in the world today? This is an interesting story. Doctors and nurses at 2 hospitals in New York and Michigan are providing patients who recently overcame the coronavirus with an important musical message. Don't stop believing. That's right. They're singing to the patients. The video taken by New York Presbyterian Queens Hospital, healthcare workers draped in protective gear are seen cheering and dancing to the famous 1981 song from Journey, which I thought had gone away by now.
No.
Hasn't, apparently?
No.
As they surround 2 discharged.
I know. Wes and I are very upset with you right now. We like Journey because we have good taste. So you need to back it down on the bashing of Journey.
Well, what do you want me to do? I'm just a small
keep reading
town
your
boy.
story. Oh, my goodness.
Lonely world, something karaoke.
Just a small town boy.
Oh, no.
No?
It's not. Please.
It's actually a girl, but.
Anyway, whatever. Difference to make. Anyway, they're seen in video as both patients, or 2 patients they were discharging who had beaten coronavirus. And the patients are, captured clapping during the song, raising fists in the air in triumph. It's a great story from the folks in New York. So, good for them because, again, I think it's very good. Stephen Perry, the former lead singer of Journey, acknowledged the hospital's video on Twitter as word grew about the use of his song for those who beat COVID-19. So Stephen Perry weighed in. It's very nice of him. Good job. Good job. It's not that the song was ever a bad song or that Journey was ever bad, but I'm pretty sure that song has appeared in like 1/3 of all movies since 1982.
Well,
I'm pretty sure that's true. And you get to that and you're like, oh, are we back to that again? Okay.
I get excited when like a good song comes on a movie because most of the time it's just like stuff you don't recognize and it's like, why'd they use that?
Well, here's one more for you because I've just found this very entertaining. A Georgia brewery is taking a new spin as they begin producing a new beer.
A new beer.
Named after the nation's top infectious disease specialist and immunologist, Dr. Anthony Fauci.
So give me a Fauci?
Wild Haven Beer, based in Decatur, Georgia,
Fauci?
is producing Fauci Spring.
Fauci Spring. Sounds like a soap.
A new pale ale. You see the guy on TV. He's pretty pale. Which has apparently been available for purchase beginning on April the 9th, according to the brewery's Facebook page. Brewery president Nick Purdy said the beer was already in development and simply needed a name. In addition, the brewery also debuted Don't Stand So Close to Me, which is a German-style lager. According to the Sacramento Bee, Fauci, of course, the key advisor for the Trump administration's coronavirus task force.
Oh, goodness.
Purdy says Fauci Spring isn't your average pale ale. It's made from acacia berries. Yeah, that sounds great. And which are called the superfood, apparently.
They are.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, apparently you can boost weight loss with acacia berries and have youthful, glowing skin.
Okay.
According to WebMD.
All right.
Got to run out and buy me some acacia berries because, by golly, I need youthful, glowing skin. In addition to the berries, Wildhaven says it's brewed with not yet named experimental hops. It's a tropical, earthy cocoa and berry note micro brew.
Wow. That's pretty fancy for a beer.
Yeah. Great name.
I'm not guessing it's gonna line your refrigerator.
Probably
shelves. No?
not.
Right.
Probably not one that's going to jump right up there in the mix. I mean, I keep the Heineken around. I keep the Guinness around.
Gotcha.
I keep the Blue Moon around. I keep the Boulevard Wheat around. I'm not seeing, Fauci Spring.
No.
Or
Fauci
for that
Spring.
matter, just so Guy Benson is aware, I don't see the long drink jumping into my cooler anytime soon either. But that's another story for another day.
All right, there's you some morning catch-up brought to you by Wanda's Designs and Embroidery right there inside of TRICARE 8940144. We're going to take a quick break. We've got some guests in-house today for you. We're going to pull in a Hockley County Agrilife Extension Service. We've got Wes Utley in with us today. We've also got President Robin Satterwhite from South Plains College. He will be joining us. We'll take a check of the Mallet Event Center as well as end up with Gary McLendon from TxDOT with an update on Texas roads. All of that still ahead. Stick around. Doing their part to help with the COVID-19 recommendations, TRICARE Medical Equipment and Wanda's Designs and Embroidery are asking that if you need something in the medical or monogramming arenas, call 894-0144. They can bring your order out to your vehicle, and they also offer medical delivery in the office every day and happy to serve your needs in any way they can. It's TRICARE Medical and Wanda's Designs, 894-0144.
We're keeping you, market connected with the KLPT Energy Report, heard Monday through Friday right here on Good Morning Texas, brought to you by Levelland EDC and Leading Edge. Online at GoLevelland.com. West Texas Intermediate crude oil sitting at $19.40 a barrel, although we do understand there may be a deal now between the Saudi Arabians and Russians. We'll talk about it later this afternoon. Stock exchange yesterday, Apache down $38.08. Now Inc. up a penny at $5.60. Halliburton down $22.763. Oxy down $43 at $14.90. And Patterson UTI down $8 at $2.25 yesterday. Dow Jones Industrial Average picked up 558.99, 23,949.76. Meanwhile, the Nasdaq was up 323.32 at 8515.74. The S&P 500's up 84.43, 28.46.06. We're keeping you market connected with the KLPT Energy Report, heard Monday through Friday right here on Good Morning Texas. Brought to you by Levelland EDC and Leading Edge. Online, GoLevelland.com.
Levelland means business. Levelland EDC provides support to local business owners through a partnership with Leading Edge. Leading Edge is an entrepreneur development group. We coach entrepreneurs in starting and growing small companies. We can help you build a marketing plan, put together numbers for financing, file a business in Texas, and more. This service is fully funded by the Levelland EDC. There is no cost to Levelland residents. Call Leading Edge today for more information or to schedule a consultation at 806-577-6172.
Are you in the market for some custom tinting? Don't use Brand X. Go with the best. Brand's Custom Tint and Off-Road offers custom window tinting, truck accessories, and all your off-road gear. And they'll beat any competitor's price, guaranteed. Stop by 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday, 512 Houston Street in Levelland. Or call 568-8468 at Brent's Custom Tint and Off-Road.
Hi, Ken Williams here. My family is proud to have owned and operated GNC Contracting since 1971. Our first priority is providing quality service to our customers here at home and all over the U.S. We love sponsoring our hometown teams all season long. At GNC Contracting, we do abrasive blasting, coating, painting, and lining. We bring our business to you. For your oil field, ag, commercial, industrial jobs, it's GNC Contract, 894-4547.
T-Day. Although, next time he's in, we're going to change it to Journey. That seems a lot cooler than this. It's our resident rock star cowboy.
This is so
Extension
West.
agent.
Yeah,
I'm
this
okay
was
with
just
that.
goes
Man of many
well.
talents. Master
Right.
of jack of all trades, master of none.
Spelling bee champion.
International man of mystery. International man of mystery. True story.
Wes Utley joins us this morning from Hockley County Agrilife Extension. Good morning.
Good morning.
How's it going?
Wonderful.
He says through gritted teeth. I tell you what, what I needed to do all this time is to start off with all of our guests going, so what would you be doing if there wasn't COVID-19? That's what we should have done.
An interview because it's Wednesday morning. So.
But seriously, you guys, your world in 4-H has been kind of turned upside down, hasn't it?
Unfortunately, it has. We have had cancellation after cancellation after cancellation of events and contests and, opportunities for these kids that, quite frankly, they won't get back.
Yeah.
And that's just, a lesson that they got to kind of swallow this pill right now that figure out that not everything in life is going to go to suit you. I guess it's a good lesson, but
it's a hard pill to swallow.
It's a hard pill to swallow. It really is. And some of these kids have worked since, the fall.
Yeah.
On a competition that they have already qualified for our state contest in June, and it's gone.
So they have canceled?
Yes.
Ugh. Well, I wasn't sure if I keep hoping that there's going to be there has to be a stopping point at some point. I just hope it's I keep hoping it's right around the corner,
Yes.
Is it next week? Is it next? Is it next?
There's going to be a few different kinds of contests out there available, for these kids, but, there's our group contests, are just, they're not going to happen.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. Have the powers that be for the large competitions, you're talking, Houston, obviously, that was the first one that got just got interrupted mid I guess mid-contest, right?
Yes. I mean, I was on the phone with people down there, and they're about to go in the ring with their sheep.
And they were
and they said, all right, we've got about 5 hours to get this whole show wrapped up and get out.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's tough, too, to unwind that in that amount of time, isn't it?
Oh, yes. There was, heifers in line, heifers already in the barn, and the guys that had heifers unloaded their heifers were on their way to drop their trailer and everything off, and they got the phone call, turn around and come back.
Wow.
Get everything you just unloaded, load it back up, and gone.
Take it back.
Yep.
So, have you heard from the top dogs that make these wheels go round, as far as what are they going to do about scholarship money and things that they had in place? Are they going to give these kids some opportunities to earn that?
We 4-H scholarship interviews. We're going to be every kid that submits, to the scholarship list. Not every one of them get an interview.
Sure.
So the interview list was going to be released, I think it was last week.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, well, hold on. We have sponsors who are kind of rethinking their contribution amount.
Right.
So let us get our money figured out. Then we're going to release who's going to get the interviews. So, yeah, I mean, the scholarship stuff has been affected.
Wow. So they're pulling back on how much they're going to give.
So
In theory.
In theory, yes.
Okay.
We're not for sure yet. Some have, organizations have already canceled their face-to-face interview sessions.
Mm-hmm.
They're not even going to do it, online via, Zoom, Teams, or anything like that. They're just going to whack that portion of the process, and that's where some kids could shine is in the interview.
Sure.
Oh,
yeah.
On paper, you look just like Tom, Dick, and Harry here. But when you sit down across from one of these kids and they can verbally tell you, what they've done, how they've done,
you get the chance
when
to
they've
sell
done.
yourself.
Yes, absolutely. So that's going to be, hard for some of these kids and families.
Absolutely.
I really see that being a very valid point because I've got a 17-year-old, an 18-year-old now, I guess it's that way. I mean, he's a kid that, and he's not 4-H kid, but he's a kid when you put him in front of people, he's very dynamic, he's very energetic. He's, believe it or not, he's kind of a likable kid. I mean, for some people.
Not for him, but for most of us.
I like the kid.
I like it. Me too.
Yeah, I could see how that could be a real hang-up for some kids that have worked very hard on having that ability to socially interact, having that ability to explain something, and really being dynamic in that way.
Yeah.
That's a tough break. It is a tough break.
Well, and you said some of them have been working for months or all year. Some of these kids have been working their whole entire lives because they've been in since Clover Kids. They've been, they came with that goal of being whoever that senior class was at the time they were idolizing and wanted to emulate. That's what they wanted, and now they're here, and they don't get the culmination of all that. That's pretty heartbreaking.
Yep. I mean, we've got one in our house.
Yeah, I know you do.
I mean, it's just.
I know you do. And one that does very well in competition.
Believe you me, she's tired of being around us at this point.
Why, I mean, as are most 17 and 18-year-olds, when they're on their last hurrah.
We've everything that my wife and I have discussed, about all the events, we haven't really tried to go hide in the closet and talk about it. It's like, hey, just tell her.
Yeah.
This is not happening.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we roll on another 10 days. Well, this has been cut too.
Yeah.
Well, sister, guess what? This has been cut now, and every time it's just like you just another gut punch, and it's like, all right, well,
onward and upward, and that is the thing about kids. They're much more resilient than adults usually. They can sort of take those punches and be heartbroken, cry a few tears, and then go, okay, well, it's time for college. So, what do I got to do next? So,
and her new student orientation was canceled in College Station, and it's just like, all right, we're going to push all this back. And her and her roommate have been just like, this is ridiculous.
Can I please get out of here?
Can I please leave my parents' house now?
Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about what you guys are doing at Hockley County Agrilife Extension to still stay somewhat connected to kids. Are you pushing out emails? Are you connecting with Zoom and some different things like that? What are you guys doing?
Yeah, absolutely. Amy has revived our Facebook page, and she and I've tried to post a few things to it, and she's the admin on that deal, and it's just like, here, post this, and she's like, okay.
She's gonna add you. You do know that,
Oh,
right?
yeah, if I
She's
pass
gonna
it-
add you
yeah.
as admin. Then you're not gonna be able to, pawn off the homework anymore.
Yes, I know. Yeah. But no, we've been putting out informational stuff, and Patty is still at the office with the doors locked. We're still operational.
But she's running the phones.
She's running the phones, and if anybody has questions that do not have my phone number, Carrie's, Marcia's, Amy's, they've called the office, and Patty has put them in touch with us. We have validation steer, heifer, sheep, and goat, and pig validation tag orders that are due today.
Oh, wow.
and everybody's been Johnny on the spot. Of course, the usuals, you got to call them and say, hey,
get your
stuff in.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got those guys out there that are just, it's business as usual.
Well, that's good. That's good to hear that people are going, hey, this is going to get over, and we're going to be back to business as usual, so we're going to keep it rolling, and we might have to adjust the way we do things, but we're going to keep going.
Yeah,
so.
Our ag producers have been out in the field,
Their world has not
their
changed
world
too
has
much.
not changed
No.
over this, really. And that's the beauty of farming and ranching, the agricultural community, that they're necessary,
Oh, yeah, essential.
Essential,
Yeah.
yeah. Absolutely essential. And there's no reason for them to stop. Why would they?
They take essential to the next level.
Yes,
They truly,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Without our farmers and our truck drivers, things like that, right now our grocery stores would be empty.
Yeah.
So
Or emptier.
Emptier.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, we're absolutely essential, and we're keeping on.
Mm-hmm.
And just it's the agricultural community is just resilient.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. As is our country.
Yes, absolutely.
And we will be back in fine form and stronger than ever. I truly believe that.
Yep.
So, Wes, thank you so much. We appreciate your time. Folks, you know what? 4-H, it keeps on rolling. It may look a little different right now, but it keeps on rolling. So if you have questions, make sure you reach out. You don't want your kids to be behind the 8 ball when they resume meetings, when they resume competitions. So make sure they're connecting to their leaders. And you know what? Go ahead and like that Facebook page, too, and that way you stay on top of what's going on. Wes, thank you so much. We appreciate you. We're going to take a quick break. We've got more Good Morning Texas coming right up.
TSN Sports, I'm Scott Bell.
For breakfast or lunch, when you're in a hurry, social distancing is no worry at Olivo's Food Truck at 1708 Avenue H in Levelland. Fresh, fast, and homemade, including amazing breakfast burritos and great hamburgers for lunch. Yes, they have carne asada, barbacoa, and even menudo on Friday and Saturday. Big order, small order, and even drive-through service. Open Monday through Saturday, 7 to 2 at 1708 Avenue H in Levelland. Olivo's Food Truck, great food, great friends, and a great price.
Hi, this is Angie from Hockley County School Employees Credit Union. At the Hockley County School Employees Credit Union, our members get a very competitive interest rate on their share account. It only takes $26 to open your account, and members may withdraw or deposit money as often as they need. Find out more at the Hockley County School Employees Credit Union, 894-6204, or online at hcsecu.org, member NCUA.
At Smith South Plains Ford, we're all about a better car buying experience. We understand that shopping for a car is a big deal, and that's why we believe in listening to what matters to you. Come see us in Levelland, where we have a wide selection of new Ford cars and trucks and an excellent sales staff. Love your car, love your dealership at Smith South Plains on Highway 114 in Levelland, Texas, or online at smithsouthplains.com.
Love your car, love your dealership, Smith South Plains.
Up in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's a
What?
What? Bibliophage. Rabid reader, word connoisseur, insatiable sesquipedalian, illustrious logophile. Tanya Moody takes you on a journey through the unknown. Though numbers are not her strong suit.
Woo! In your face, math boy!
This verbose vixen will challenge your love of linguistics.
Yeah, baby, yeah!
You don't seem to realize the cosmic importance of this.
And here, with the word of the day, Miss Tanya Moody.
Word of the day, it's brought to you by your friends at the Hockley County Senior Citizen Center, 1202 Houston. Don't forget, they are not open per se. However, they're still serving lunches. So if you need a lunch, you seniors out there, just give them a call, drop by, pick it up at the back door, get on the Meals on Wheels program, whatever you need to do. The Hockley County Senior Citizen Center, 1202 Houston in Levelland. I had to string that out a little bit until Tiny found her menu and her pile of stuff.
They have herb. Do you say herb or herb?
Herb?
What do you say? Herb or herb?
Was it flavored like my grandfather? No, it's herb.
Herb roasted chicken thighs.
Herb?
Herb roasted chicken thighs with potato wedges, whole wheat roll, peas and carrots, and strawberries with whipped topping. So that's your lunch for today.
Some herb roasted chicken. Didn't know herb was
roasted.
I don't know what herb doing. I don't know. He's roasted chicken.
It's roasted chicken. Phobophobia.
Phobophobia?
Yep, you can
You're
got
a phobos.
I just thought you were going to nail this one. Come on.
It's fear of phobo.
Come on. Phobophobia. What would it be?
Phobophobia is fear of phobo.
It's not fear of phobo.
And you have no idea what phobos are, do you?
I know what FOMO is.
Huh?
Fear of missing out.
What?
Fear of missing out. FOMO.
Your fear of
FOMO.
Well, I have no idea what that was. Phobia is fear of phobo.
What are phobos?
Phobo is the thing you didn't even realize was out there. But as if you paid attention through the history of mankind, you know that every time somebody released something as far as toys were concerned, then typically what we used to call the catalog stores, okay?
Right.
Wasn't the box stores at the time, it was catalog stores.
Right,
Sears,
JCPenney's
JCPenney,
yeah.
Monkey Wards, as my dad would say.
Montgomery Wards.
They'd always have some version of it when the copyright or the trademark would wear off. So Phobo was the Monkey Ward's version of Furby. So phobophobia is fear of generic Furby.
Oh, my goodness. That was like...
Smartest man alive.
You're not even
Hoorah.
close. Anyway. So,
I'm not shooting for close. I'm crushing
You're
it.
not. Phobophobia is the fear of fear itself.
It's the fear of fear itself?
It is.
We have nothing to do with fear but fear itself? How many times have you ran FDR's phrase through your head in the last 2 weeks?
There's been so many songs that come to mind, phrases that come to mind.
We have nothing to fear but fear itself.
Yep.
Where's FDR when you need him?
That's right.
I mean,
Phobophobia.
as crazy as that sounds.
There is your word of the
so
day.
It's fear of fear.
It is. It's the fear of fear.
Are you scared of fear?
I'm not.
Just birds.
I'm really not.
Clowns.
Yes.
Spiders.
Sharks. Being buried alive.
Being buried alive.
Other than that, I'm not scared of anything. I'm scared.
Me making fun of your wardrobe.
That's true. That's true. I didn't wear a shirt today because I knew I was gonna. It was gonna be brutal, and I was like, I had it. I was all dressed, and I was ready to go out the door, and I went. Am I really in the mood for this today? Nope.
This is the kind of impact. People, if you really don't think I have any impact in the social fabric of America, this is the kind of impact I have. I'm just telling you. Just say it.
When your co-host gives you so much grief that you just really can't stomach it that day,
that's too funny. It's too funny.
Then you're me. So there's that.
Should I do? No, he's gonna arrest me.
He's just gonna. It's gonna be merciless.
I'm sorry.
Let me just give you the little teaser on that.
I'm so sorry.
It was a tiger stripe shirt.
Is it
so
tiger stripe shirt?
Yeah.
Well, Gertie, you too. All right.
I figured that I just rolled through my mind all the things you were gonna harangue me about wearing that shirt. So I went. Nope.
I may have had a great day, and I may not have picked on you.
That's
it's always
not,
a possibility.
That's not
That
a
would be a
possibility.
rarity.
That would really not be a possibility.
Jody says be a rarity.
It would be.
So, but you just said it would. That's not possible. But now it's a rarity?
No. You just...
A little waffly.
Anywho, there's your word of the day. And you can, of course, call them for a meal. You can schedule that. You can also volunteer at the Hockley County Senior Citizens. And you can be a Meals on Wheels driver. And I know that sometimes they are short on those. Give them a call, 894-2228. We're going to take a quick break. We've got lots more to go. Stick around. We'll be back. The Hockley County Senior Citizens Center may be closed temporarily, but their service to the young at heart in Hockley County continues. The Hockley County Senior Citizens Association serves our seniors with their home-delivered meal service, and if you as a senior need help, please contact the center at 894-2228. The mission is clear at the Hockley County Senior Citizens, and that means being devoted to the needs of our aging of Hockley County.
Don't let the name Cox Auto Supply fool you. Cox Auto Supply at 210 South Main in Morton is your one-stop farm shop. Parts for your cotton stripper, planter, and other farming tools, plus irrigation motor parts. If it makes the farm go, Cox Auto can get it. Don't forget the parts for the spray rigs. Mark and Wade Baker are proud supporters of everything Morton and are also your True Value headquarters. Cox Auto Supply and Potting Shed, 7 to 6 Monday through Saturday, 210 South Main, Morton.
TSN News, I'm Chelsea Wade. More than 300 people in Texas have now died from the coronavirus. Texas Health and Human Services has recorded 318 deaths and more than 14,600 cases. The state's juvenile prisons will stop accepting people from local jails for the next 2 weeks to try to limit the spread of COVID-19. The Texas Juvenile Justice Department says no youth in a state prison has tested positive for the virus. In the adult system, more than 230 prisoners and nearly 100 staff members have tested positive. 22 prisons were locked down this week because of the virus. Abortion rights groups no longer asking the U.S. Supreme Court to intervene in their lawsuit against Governor Abbott's elective surgery ban.
So far, the Fifth Circuit has allowed for medication abortion and for those women late in their pregnancy who are approaching the legal limit to access the procedure. But this doesn't end the lawsuit against the governor's elective surgery ban, according to Diana Limon Mercado, the executive director of Planned Parenthood Texas Votes.
Unfortunately, there's a whole bunch of patients and people who need access to abortion caught in the middle of those two groups, and those people are still not able to access abortion at this time.
Their lawsuit against the state continues in both U.S. District Court and the Appeals Court. In Austin, Chris Fox, TSN News.
A lawsuit being heard today is asking for all mail-in ballot requests to be approved this year because of the virus. Chad Dunn, an attorney for the Texas Democratic Party, says voters should not have to risk their lives to cast a ballot.
There's this concern that there'll be this massive amount of fraud. Well, there are whole states that vote by mail. Oregon's been voting by mail since 1998.
Aside from the fraud, those who oppose it also say it'll be costly. The nation's biggest airlines have tentatively agreed to terms for $25 billion in government aid to pay workers and avoid massive layoffs. Billy Saunez with GoFlyMore.com believes this will be enough for right now.
Hopefully, by the end of the summer, things will start to pick back up. So hopefully the schedules will start to get a little bit higher in numbers and more flights to be out. But that all depends on how the virus evolves.
And that money will also help Texas airports.
DFW Airport is getting $299 million, while Bush Intercontinental in Houston is getting $149 million. Lubbock's Preston Smith International is getting $9.5 million. Valley International Airport in Harlingen is getting $20 million. And the Tyler Pounds Regional Airport is getting $1 million. Stephen Pickering, TSN News.
Texas oil regulators still debating capping oil production up to 20%. Some say they don't support the move. Others say it's necessary with oil prices plummeting and reserves filling up. This is TSN News.
Hear how Mueller helped Brian with a custom steel building for his business.
Here at Gibson Automotive, we're a collision repair. We do body work, paint. We also sell a few cars. My contractor wanted to use Mueller because they were the best, so why wouldn't I use Mueller? This project turned out better than I ever imagined. There wasn't a nut and bolt that didn't fit anywhere it was supposed to. Going with Mueller was one of the best decisions I made in the whole construction.
Visit our website today at MuellerInc.com.
Not only is milk one of our country's safest foods, ounce for ounce it provides more nutrition and protein, with the fewest ingredients than any other drink. I'm Val Mearsma, and our family stays strong with 3 servings of dairy a day. As a dairy farmer and a mom, life can be busy, but I know I can keep my family healthy by choosing milk. Get to know the people behind your milk at dairydiscoveryzone.com.
The European Union unveiling a roadmap that plans for an easing of coronavirus restrictions and lockdowns across the 27-nation bloc. Internal documents obtained by the Associated Press show top Chinese officials secretly determined they were likely facing a pandemic in mid-January, ordering preparations even as they downplayed it in public. President Trump says he's cutting off payments to the World Health Organization because he says it failed to do enough to stop the spread of the virus. President Trump says he'll leave it up to governors to decide when to reopen, and he plans to talk with each of them starting tomorrow. And some well-known Texas billionaires among those asked to serve on a panel helping President Trump decide on how to reopen the economy. I'm Chelsea Wade, TSN News.
Germania Insurance Company, serving Texans like you since 1896, is proud to show you how to take advantage of valuable savings. When you choose George Keeling Insurance, you're choosing a name you recognize and trust. Come in and visit with me, Iris Keeling. Let me introduce you to our companion life policy discount. In addition to the 15% that you save on your combined home and auto policy, with the purchase of a life policy, it will also qualify you for an additional 10% off on your dwelling policy. Call me at 894-4770. George R. Keeling Insurance, your Germania insurance provider.
Choose the best barbecue around at the Fort J. Choo Choo Barbecue Trailer at 510 Clubview Drive in Levelland. Let's talk variety. We're bringing you different flavors every day of the best smoked sandwiches around. We've got daily offerings at Fort J. Choo Choo. Check that out on Facebook. Friday, stop by for the Swing Away Sandwich. 1 full pound of the choicest smoked meats in Texas. Lots of parking, quality fresh meats at a great price. Fort J. Choo Choo Barbecue coming to a plate near you. 510 Clubview Drive, Levelland.
When it comes to keeping your family cool this summer, you need an HVAC system that's Reliant. Give Reliant Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning a call at 778-0421 and ask about our AC maintenance specials. Reliant has 0% financing available and a $1,500 rebate with a $750 instant cash back on qualifying units. Restrictions apply. Keep your home or business temperature controlled. 778-0422. Rely on Reliant Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. It's time to check local news this hour, brought to you by Smith South Plains, Ford, and Lincoln. Love your car, love your dealership, East Highway 114 and online, smithsouthplains.com. Well, the 15th case of COVID-19 was confirmed in Hockley County Tuesday night. Jody Rose has more.
Good morning. Hockley County Judge Charlotte Baldridge announced that the Department of State Health Services has confirmed another case of COVID-19 in Hockley County. The new case is an Levelland resident between the ages of 20 and 30. They have not released any other information. This is the 15th case in Hockley County, with 1 recovery and 1 death, leaving 13 active cases. This is also the 8th case in a City of Levelland resident. Lubbock Health Department also released yesterday 13 additional cases of COVID-19 in Lubbock County yesterday, bringing their total to 330 cases. They have 85 recoveries and 25 deaths. The death count also increasing yesterday by 4 additional deaths reported in Lubbock County yesterday. Currently, Lubbock County has 220 active cases. Levelland police officers were called Monday morning to a residence in Levelland that had been burglarized sometime over the weekend. Officers met the reporting party at the residence in the 300 block of Avenue C. Officers were told by the reporting party that the owner of the residence was in a long-term care facility in Lubbock and had been for a while. Police entered the residence and noted that it appeared every room, cabinet, and drawer in the residence had been gone through and ransacked. It is believed that the suspect entered the residence through a back window by removing the window air conditioning unit. The reporting party provided a written statement to police, and police notified detectives with the Criminal Investigation Division to respond to the scene to start the investigation. According to reports, the back fence was down at the residence, and it appeared that a path of broken weeds led from the alley to the residence. A neighbor told police that the fence had been up until over the weekend. The investigation into this case is ongoing. Several institutions of higher learning in the South Plains area will receive a total of $36.8 million in federal grants to respond to the effects of the coronavirus outbreak. U.S. Senator John Cornyn made the announcement yesterday. The grant funding comes from the Higher Education Emergency Relief Fund, authorized by the CARES Act, which Senator Cornyn supported in the Senate last month. At least 50% of each grant must go towards providing students with emergency financial aid grants to help cover expenses related to the disruption of campus operations due to the coronavirus, and the CARES Act allows each institution discretion in how to award the assistance to its students. South Plains College will receive $5.2 million in total aid, with $2.6 million of that to be used for student aid. Texas Tech University set to receive $25.5 million in total aid, with $12.8 million to be used for student aid. Texas Tech University Health Sciences Center receiving a separate $2.2 million in total aid, and $1.1 million of that for student aid. Lubbock Christian University receiving $1.4 million in total aid, with just over $700,000 of that for student aid. And Wayland Baptist University receiving $2.5 million in total aid, with $1.3 million of that for student aid. Rager Dykes and GM Financial, or AmeriCredit Financial Services, filed a proposed settlement yesterday in bankruptcy court. Rager Dykes filed for bankruptcy in August of 2018 amid accusations of fraud and default. What's left of Rager Dykes will be liquidated. So far, 14 former Rager Dykes employees admitted to federal crimes. Among other things, not only was Rager Dykes accused of fraud, but some of the banks and other lenders accused each other of misconduct. GM Financial believes it has a $3.1 million claim against AIM Bank. Under the terms of the deal, GM Financial will assign its claim to the Rager Dykes bankruptcy estate. The chief restructuring officer of Rager Dykes will then pursue claims against AIM Bank. GM Financial and the Rager Dykes bankruptcy estate will split any money they recover from AIM Bank 50-50 up to $3.1 million. In simple terms, no matter how much AIM Bank may have to pay, GM Financial will not get any more than $3.1 million. We're keeping you news connected on KOVT Loveland, online at KOVTradio.com. We're on Twitter at KOVT News. Local news this hour brought to you by Smith South Plains on East Highway 114 in Loveland, online at smithsouthplains.com.
In such a fast-paced world, who wants to slow down to buy a car? At Smith South Plains, we make it easy to shop online. Visit smithsouthplains.com to browse our entire inventory, view rebates and finance options, and even apply for financing. It's easy, secure, all about saving you time. I'm Nicole Campbell, and I want you to love your car and love your dealership at Smith South Plains on Highway 114 in Levelland, Texas, or online at smithsouthplains.com.
Love your car, love your dealership. Smith South Plains.
Hi, Ken Williams here. My family is proud to have owned and operated GNC Contracting since 1971. Our first priority is providing quality service to our customers here at home and all over the U.S. We love sponsoring our hometown teams all season long. At GNC Contracting, we do abrasive blasting, coating, painting, and lining. We bring our business to you for your oil field, ag, commercial, industrial jobs. It's GNC Contract, 894-4547.
It's time to check weather this hour, brought to you by the First Christian Church in Levelland. And guess what? Warmer? Yep, it's here. Michael?
All right, thanks, Tanya. Good morning, everyone. KLVT weather. I'm Michael Wiest. After a few days of winter-like weather, I'm sure warmer will make some folks happy. 36 out there this hour. Under a clear sky, relative humidity at 68%, wind out of the south at 7 miles an hour. Sunshine today. We should get up around 66. Wind out of the southwest at 15 to 20 this afternoon. Clear and 42 overnight tonight. South wind at 10 to 15. Sunny for Thursday. That high around 79. Wind out of the southwest at 10 to 15. Mostly clear 35 Thursday night. Wind out of the southwest at 10 to 15. That will become northeasterly after midnight. For Friday, mostly sunny. A little cooler again at 63 for a high. Wind out of the northeast at 10 to 15 will become easterly through the afternoon. And partly cloudy and 40 Friday night. Wind out of the southeast at 5 to 10. Saturday, mostly sunny. We'll put that high up around 77 to start the weekend. Wind out of the southwest at 10 to 20. Mostly clear 45 Saturday night. Southwest wind at 10 to 15. Sunny for Sunday and 77. Wind out of the northwest at 5 to 10. Partly cloudy 47 Sunday night. Monday, we'll call it mostly sunny and 83, mostly sunny 85 for your coming Tuesday. So, again, the warming trend is here. Definitely sets into effect over the weekend and on into next week. It is 66 for a high today. Wind out of the southwest at 15 to 20, 42 tonight, 79 on Thursday. Outside the KLVT studio this morning, we're at 36. Wind out of the south at 12 mile an hour. As we keep you weather connected here at KLVT Levelland, KLVTradio.com. You'll also find daily forecast information via KLVT on Facebook and KLVT on Twitter. And Weather this hour brought to you by the First Christian Church in Levelland. Community events and reminders after you hear this.
Everyone is invited to join us at the First Christian Church at 311 Clubview Drive. Join us every Sunday for Bible study with Moki and Kay McCrary at 9:30 and for worship services at 10:45 with Jesse and Liz Hodge. Come and find and know God in the name of Christ our Savior at First Christian Church in Levelland. We hope to see you soon.
South Plains College athletes come from all over the world to help build and maintain the winning tradition of South Plains College, and as a member of the Texan Club, you can too. They take pride in the accomplishments and achievements of our athletes both on the court and in the classroom, and help support the athletic programs through financial contributions and by giving of their time and talent to special Booster Club projects. Become part of call the athletic department at 806-894-9611, extension 2221.
Hi, this is Colonel Aaron Evangelisti, Commander of the Air Force Reserve's 433rd Airlift Wing at Joint Base San Antonio, Lackland Air Force Base, Texas. Military experience can add greatly to your life, as it has mine. The Air Force Reserve locations throughout the region offer positions with excellent training, including the exciting areas of intelligence and cyberspace. I encourage you to start your adventure in the Air Force Reserve by going to afreserve.com or calling 800-257-1212.
Sponsored by the Air Force Reserve, aired by the Texas Association of Broadcasters and this station.
I love my calendar girl. Yeah, sweet calendar girl.
She's your calendar girl. She's here each and every day of the year with your community events and reminders brought to you by the Mallet Event Center. You're going to find them online. Go to malleteventcenter.com with your community events and reminders. Good morning, Tanya Moody.
Good morning, Michael Wiest, and good morning to all of you out there. We're going to check a couple of reminders here coming up. One, we want to remind you for our friends at Hockley County School Employees Credit Union, if you will show your current school year badge to the great folks at Coffee 211, you will receive a free small drink of your choice, and the credit union will pick up the tab. And today, those people that can do just that are the fine folks in the educational world in Sundown. So Sundown is today. Come on over to Levelland, show your badge at 211 Coffee, and get your free cup of coffee or drink of choice on the Hockley County School Employees Credit Union. Tomorrow, Ropes is up, and on Monday, it'll be the high school, Levelland High School, and Sodexo. So we'll keep you informed of who's coming up next for a great treat. Also, speaking of a great treat, people that are filling a need our First Baptist Church Love Levelland group. If you need essentials, if you need food, they've got a delivery service for the at-risk, and all you need to do is call 1-833-HELP, the number 4, and double L. Also coming up for you, we want to remind you that the Wallace Theater has got a couple of things on the radar. At wallacetheater.com, you have the ability to surf some music. You've got some live musical performances there. You've got art, theater, virtual tours of museums and zoos, some educational tools, and you have folks an opportunity to kind of stretch your inner director. That's right. They've got an opportunity for you to enjoy making your favorite clip of your favorite movie and putting that down on kind of as a little mini movie and submitting that. They have extended the dates for that competition, and of course some great bragging rights there, but also check out all that that entails at wallacetheater.com and find out the rules and the details there. They've got various levels for age groups, so from the little bitties all the way up to the teenagers, and even adults can compete in the mini movie clip competition they're having at the Wallace Theater. Also, we just want to remind you that, of course, the ABC Rodeo still scheduled to return to the Mallet Event Center from their previous dates. They've been rescheduled to the end of May, so May 28th through the 30th. And I can tell you one thing: if we get to that point and we get to see the ABC Pro Rodeo right there at the Mallet, we're all going to be very excited to be able to return to some normalcy and see a great event hit the Mallet for the first time ever. Those are your community events and reminders. Don't forget, if you are looking for wine, Berkeley Hill of Levelland is taking your orders. They have the wine pickup over there downtown in Levelland for you once a week. And, of course, you can also order online and have it delivered via UPS. And we're going to take a quick break. Thanks to the Mallet Event Center for sponsoring our community events and reminders. Sports is up next.
The Mallet Event Center and Arena is available for your next event. Our conference room, banquet hall, and arena are climate controlled and can be set from 16 to 2,000 plus. With a heated expo hall, tables, chairs, a professional kitchen for your caterers, and 50 self-contained RV spaces. Our facility is your facility. So when you begin planning your next event, remember the Mallet. 894-4161, the Mallet Event Center and Arena, proudly serving Hockley County and beyond.
Choo-choo-choo's the best barbecue around at the Far J Choo-Choo Barbecue Trailer at 510 Clubview Drive in Levelland. Let's talk variety. We're bringing you different flavors every day of the best smoked sandwiches around. They've got daily offerings at Far J Choo-Choo. Check that out on Facebook. Friday, stop by for the Swing Away Sandwich. 1 full pound of the choicest smoked meats in Texas. Lots of parking, quality fresh meats at a great price. 4J Choo-Choo Barbecue coming to a plate near you. 510 Clubview Drive, Levelland.
When is it right to use home quarantine or home isolation? Covenant Health Levelland follows CDC guidelines in recommending that if you feel you have been exposed to the virus but are not showing symptoms, or you are sick with respiratory disease symptoms, stay home. The idea is to separate yourself and monitor for fever, cough, and shortness of breath. It is also to separate ill persons to limit the spread. These measures can help keep the virus from spreading. If you have any questions, call your provider. Complete, compassionate, Covenant Care, Covenant Health Levelland.
It's time to check local sports this hour, brought to you by Ag Texas Farm Credit Services, with everything you need to grow. East Highway 114 and online, agtexas.com. Well, LaCroix was named the VIPE Player of the Year, and Michael Wiest has your details.
All right, thanks, Danny. Good morning, everyone. KLVT Sports. I'm Michael Wiest. While sports are on hold, awards certainly are not. And Levelland Junior Zayden LaCroix has been named the VIPE West Texas Panhandle Boys Public School Basketball Player of the Year. 25 players made the poll. LaCroix captured 36% of the ballots, coming in at just over 70,000 votes with 193,000 ballots cast. LaCroix led a very balanced Lobo team in scoring, hitting for 10.1 points per game while shooting 43.2% from the field, just over 40% back of the arc, and just over 70% from the free throw line. Levelland went 26-10 in 2020 under second-year coach Jordan Elam with a co-district championships from by-district and area rounds. Zayden is the son of Anthony and Angelica LaCroix in Levelland. Congratulations to him and the Levelland Lobos, as well as his family. Another veteran coach in the area has retired as Plainview girls basketball head coach Danny Wren is hanging it up after 33 years. Wren took UIL girls basketball state titles with the Lady Bulldogs in 2001, 2002, and 2003, and finished runner-up in 2004. The Plainview veteran also coached 3 different McDonald's Americans in his career. According to the Texas Girls Coaches Association, Wren closes his career with a record of 782 and 250, which puts him in the top 20 winningest coaches in girls high school basketball, where he joins the elite company of now retired Joe Lombard out of Canyon and now, of course, Chuck Darden out of Shallow in that company as well. According to a post from the Levelland Athletic Booster Club, due to the COVID-19 crisis and some issues with funding, Levelland Athletic Booster Club will not be holding their end-of-the-year banquet. Posted by Athletic Booster Club President Kelly Reed, quote, "We normally have around 450 people attend, and we are obviously not able to have that many people together during this crisis. We also do not have the funds because of 2 track meets that were canceled," said Reed via the Levelland Athletic Booster Club Facebook page. One of the club's primary funding sources is concessions at volleyball, basketball, baseball, softball games, as well as a powerlifting meet in February and 2 track meets in the spring. Currently, the club has not been able to hold any concession stands since before spring break in March, and therefore funding has suffered. Reed added, "I'm sorry and sad for the athletes. However, we are proud of their accomplishments in 2019 and 2020. Hope you stay well and healthy through this, and looking forward to starting again in 2020 and 2021. For more information on how to support or join the Levelland Athletic Booster Club page, you can find that club page on Facebook. We're keeping you sports connected at KLVT Levelland. We're online, klvtradio.com. You'll also find daily sports via klvtradio.com by clicking sports or going to KLVT on Twitter. Look for KLVT Sports right there. Sports this hour brought to you by Ag Texas Farm Credit Services. Everything you need to grow at East Highway 114 Levelland. Find out more. Go to agtexas.com. More Good Morning Texas after you hear this.
Whether you measure your success by owning land you farm, expanding your herd or facility for maximum production, or managing risk to provide security for your family, the purpose at Ag Texas Farm Credit Services simply is this. Ag Texas Farm Credit Services is dedicated to the prosperity of agriculture and rural America. Loan programs, insurance, leasing, patronage, and more. Go to agtexas.com or call Ag Texas Farm Credit Services 894-6119.
Levelland means business. Levelland EDC provides support to local business owners through a partnership with Leading Edge. Leading Edge is an entrepreneur development group. We coach entrepreneurs in starting and growing small companies. We can help you build a marketing plan, put together numbers for financing, file a business in Texas, and more. This service is fully funded by the Levelland EDC. There is no cost to Levelland residents. Call Leading Edge today for more information or to schedule a consultation at 806-577-6172.
Farmers, while you're busy in the field, Farmers Co-op Elevator in Levelland is busy helping you stay there. With all your tires, chemical inputs, fertilizers, and fuel, Farmers Co-op Elevator will keep you out rolling and growing. Farmers Co-op Elevator, 894-8505. Online, fceleveland.com.
Welcome back. Good morning, Texas. We're 20 minutes away from the hour of 9 this morning. KLVT Levelland, klvtradio.com, KLVT Facebook Live. We'll update you on everything Mallet Event Center coming up. We'll also be checking in on the AIM Bank Birthday Bash. Gary McLendon's going to be along from TxDOT. because road work is essential services, folks. They're gonna be out there working on College Avenue, amongst other things, in the very near future. So we'll talk about that. Some What Say You as well coming up here on Good Morning Texas and KLVT Levelland, KLVTradio.com, KLVT Facebook Live.
All right. And meanwhile, we are going to visit with Dr. Robin Satterwhite from South Plains College. And I'll tell you one thing. This gentleman has had his hands full, just like many other entities in this area, trying to restructure the way one does business. So, Dr. Satterwhite, good morning.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning. It has been a challenge. I tell you what, trying to, higher education is one of those unique situations or unique businesses that we're essential.
Oh, yeah.
So we're trying to continue our courses, trying to maintain all the educational processes, but in the same time, we're trying to remain distant. And so it's been a real challenge. I think the last time I came on the radio, we talked about what we were doing at South Plains College, moving our classes online and trying to be strategic about that. And I think since then we've gone from trying to be strategic to being wholesale, moving online, getting students, getting faculty, getting staff off campus, trying to comply with not only the educational requirements that we have, but also the local directives, which we certainly support on trying to maintain distancing and staying at home and staying safe. So it's been a challenge. It really has been.
I would guess that when you're sitting, you're in a unique position because, of course, you've got all of your staff, but you also have your Board of Regents to answer to and lots of, I can't even imagine the number of questions that you fielded at this point because, you got to look at it, what's best for your staff, what's best for students, what's best for the future of South Plains College. And, it's just a lot to think about.
Well, Tanya, our guiding principles, and this is what I shared with our Board of Regents last week, along this whole thing is first and foremost, like everyone, but our focus is the safety and health of our students and our faculty and staff, and we have to keep that paramount. And if we lose focus of that, then we start making decisions that aren't the good decisions, that aren't the right decisions. And so we've kept that first and foremost. And then secondly, we've kept secondly, maintaining the educational processes. Mm-hmm. And we've done a really good job of that. I cannot compliment our faculty and staff enough for what they've done. First and foremost, our faculty have transitioned everything online. And to date, you would expect that you would see a mass exodus of students from that. Our students have been very, very resilient and they've persevered through this time. This year compared to last year, we've actually had fewer students drop this year than we did last year. Now, some of those are student-initiated, more student-initiated, fewer administrative drops, but overall, we've actually lost fewer students this year than we did last year, and I'm really, really proud of our students.
As well, you should be.
That has taken a lot of courage. It is scary to suddenly shift everything online. For our faculty, who some of them have never taught a class online. Some of them have taught lots of classes online. And so we have a variety of different faculty out there with different skill sets, and they've come together, they've helped one another, that we have an excellent training staff that have taught them to shift this education online in a very, very short time period. So they've done really, really well. It's time will tell how the rest of the semester ends, but the one thing that I wanted to say is all of the employees we have, our Board of Regents, the community, everyone has been incredibly supportive, and that's one thing that we can be that we can celebrate in this all of this is we have come together, we're supporting one another. We want to make sure that we continue to do well for our students, we continue to do well for our communities, and that's the encouraging thing about it, is everyone coming together and fighting this fight together.
For sure. And I want to commend you as a person in this community. I want to commend the Board of Regents and you because, when you are looking at so many unknowns, and when I started off this conversation saying you're in a unique position, one of the things about being in that position is, yes, of course, you've got to let the guiding principles of safety for staff and students, kind of rule the direction.
Sure.
But you have to look at numbers too. And that's just sadly one of those things that cannot be avoided.
Right.
And I want to commend you guys for pulling together and supporting a stance that, look, this is a family. We're going to take care of our own. We haven't seen rifts, layoffs, anything. You guys have protected jobs, and I think that is hugely important in this day, this crazy time that we find ourselves living in. For somebody to not have to worry about yet another scary element, I think that is highly commendable.
But thank you, and that's a conscious decision, and that's a decision we've made, and we hope we get to stick with that, and that's we hope this ends soon. But
that wasn't saying that to hold you to that.
That is the position we want to stand
Yes.
right now. Fortunately, in our business, and it's unique, is our revenues come up front, and we're not tied to a day-to-day sales process. So that does give us a little bit more flexibility in that. Now, on the long run, we have to be very cautious as well.
Yeah.
And so we're hopeful that we can maintain that position, and we've worked very hard to keep that position because I think that the employment of our employees locally, in the community, at the college is so incredibly important. So now the good news. And interesting. This is very interesting in kind of a unique situation. You've heard the CARES Act, and we're getting some higher education relief funding. South Plains College is slated to get about $5.18 million from that, which is really good. Now, a lot of that needs to go directly to the students' hands, but we're hopeful that we can use that for this last round of payments that students haven't been able to make, and that's our goal is to give those monies to the students so they can complete their payment this semester, which helps them continue on in education. We also want to help meet those needs that they have lost during this time period. So half of that money has to go to those students to help meet the needs that they've encountered through this entire period. One of the requirements, interestingly enough, of that is that we maintain our employment staff. So I'm very, very pleased that we've taken that position because that has made us eligible for that $5.2 million that we otherwise would not be eligible for. So it's one of those things that we're glad we did it because now it's making us eligible for other opportunities and other funding available to the college and to our students. So it's it's very, very complicated and it's very, very it's complex and sometimes there's there's hidden agenda behind legislative agenda or federal agenda or whatever that case may be, but it really helps us out, and we're really looking forward to getting that funding for our students and for our college.
Well, and certainly anybody listening that has looked at that stuff for their business understands that. We don't know quite yet what that fine print looks like because they haven't figured out quite yet what that fine print looks like. So, but I think that's wonderful. I mean, just doing what you felt was right for the college and for your people has ended up being a benefit to the college.
It's
and
been
I
a blessing.
think that's
It really
great.
has. Thank you so much.
Let's talk a little bit about, some of the positives that you're seeing, because I know while everyone is cross-eyed from screen time and all this, I know that you're a forward-thinking person and your Board of Regents is forward-thinking. So when you're looking at this and you're looking at, and we hate, for one to rise when another falls, but we do know that is a pattern. When the oil field is down, we know that education typically sees some rise in numbers. So what's the conversation?
We are very
what are
hopeful
you talking
for that.
about?
Well, there's several different things we're looking at. First of all, you're right. When unemployment goes up, typically so does enrollments. Now, we hope that comes quickly. and that's something that we're all crossing our fingers hoping for. The things that we're trying to emphasize are trying to get students into classes very, very quickly. And the things we're using to do that is, fortunately, we have the Pell Grant. So a number of years ago, Pell was not available for summer classes. It is now.
Oh.
So if you're listening to this, if you're interested in going to school, if you have a financial need, there are opportunities to help fund that education, and that's what we're really trying to push. We're really trying to push the registration this summer, trying to push the registration of this fall, because it's a numbers game. And so we're the more numbers we get, the more tuition fees we get, the more things we're able to do at the college, the more state funding we get. It's all tied to enrollment. So that's one of the things we're really working towards. So we're pushing that hard, and we want students to know that they're, and these are uncertain times, and these are scary times, and they don't have money in their pocket. But guess what? There is an opportunity for you to go to college, and there are federal funds to help pay for that. We're hopeful we're going to be able to take this federal funding that we just talked about from the CARES Act and push that towards students, helping them get enrolled in the summer, helping them get enrolled in the fall, helping meet those gaps that they're experiencing. So we really want to try to do that, and that's something we're really focusing on. I'm gonna share with you kind of some interesting things that have arisen out of this, and it's exciting to see. When you have necessity is I can't remember the
mother
term.
of invention.
Mother of invention. Thank you. And so that's what we've seen. We have discovered different ways of treating students and helping students. For example, advising. We're doing advising online, and we're starting that this week, and that's really a unique situation, but it's very helpful. The more advising we can get, the more students will remain in class, and we'll have them retain those students longer. So we're doing some very unique advising processes at the college. We have an online tour of the South Plains College for students who are coming in and trying to recruit students and trying to show them, hey, we can't have you out here, we can't tour you around, but take a look at this video, and it's very nicely done. We've implemented some chat functions for our students. So these are, and hopefully these are things that will stick. These aren't only for the short term. These are things that, we recruit students not just from the immediate 30-mile area. We recruit students from hundreds of miles away within our service area, and some students who choose to come out here because of other purposes. So that will be exciting as well, and hopefully that will be on the horizon of how we can be a better college and learn different things as a result of this. And that's what we want to take these opportunities, not to just be reactive, but maybe take some of these opportunities and develop them into something proactive. So you're right. With the change in the economy, hopefully we'll see more students coming in. We're trying to push very hard to get the funding for those students, because we know that some of them don't have that funding.
Right.
They're going to college because they don't have a job, and so what we want to do is try to fill that gap. Fortunately, we've had some very positive scholarship opportunities, and so we want to do that as well for our students. So we're trying to find every possible financial mechanism to help meet their needs and get them on. And then, like I said, out of this storm, hopefully we have some things that have prevailed, and some new ideas that have come up that we can actually implement and be proactive and use to help better meet the needs of our students from this point forward.
I love that. And that's actually kind of where I was going with that original question is, we can look at all the gloom and doom. We can look at how this is off-putting, how this is inconvenient, how this is whatever you want, whatever adjective or you want to use to describe it. But at the end of the day, there are some things that are being put into place. I mean, you are stretching your staff right now.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, they are learning some new skills. And from that is going to come some things that are going to be very beneficial tools in your arsenal.
It really will be. And, the question I frequently am asked is, people understand, typically we understand, how do you teach history or English or government or something like that online. That's not too foreign to most of our population. The question is how do you teach these technical education courses online? And And I've just been incredibly proud of our faculty and staff who've come together and said, okay, how are we going to still meet these needs so a student doesn't finish up the semester and say, now what do I do because I still haven't finished? Now, some of those, there are just going to have to be some that don't finish. But we've had chairs from every single department outline a plan, and they're not outlining a plan for each program. They're outlining a plan for each student. How is this student going to be able to complete their education? And they've become very, very creative. The Higher Education Coordinating Board and our SACs, our regional accreditation for the Department of Education, have been flexible with us to say, you do what you can do to help meet the education of these students. Now, they aren't going to let us ride, or they're not going to.
They don't get to slide.
No, they don't get to slide on and say, well, I don't have to meet the core competencies of that course. But they are giving us the flexibility to say, okay, how can we make sure that student has met those core competencies? And I've really just been amazed at how our faculty have come up with different ways of doing that. And so I'm really excited about that too. And I think that will open up some doors in the future also to find out how do we deal with unique circumstances for the students are in, and get out of our box that we're in, and have, start thinking very, very creatively on how to meet those needs of our students.
I think what you're going to see perhaps on the other side of this is I think you're going to see some more non-traditional students being able to utilize these new tools and these new ways of learning that they weren't able to do because they couldn't come sit inside a classroom.
Well, and Tanya, it's really interesting. One thing that we've discovered, and I think the students have discovered, that they have the resources to do this. When so many students say, I don't want to take an online course because I don't have the right resources. Well, they have discovered very quickly that you can take class on a cell phone. You can take class on a tablet. You can take class on a laptop.
Yeah.
And they have we went out immediately and purchased supplies, Chromebooks, to try to help meet our students. We've not distributed all those Chromebooks because students are discovering, hey, I really do have the mechanism to do this. I have the means to do this, and part of it is fear, and part of it is anxiety, and so getting over that fear, helping them learn that you can do this in a variety of different ways, and we're here to help you do this, and which is really exciting. And so I think you're right. I think that there will be students who come out of this and recognize that, hey, I actually can take a course where I didn't think I could before because A, I didn't think I had funding. Well, we're working on that. We're trying to get that funding. B, I don't have the resources. Yeah, you really probably do have the resources. And so we're really excited about the students reaching out and becoming more courageous and more creative as well.
And responsible.
And more responsible.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, for sure. Dr. Satterwhite, thank you so much. Tons of information there, folks. I would highly, highly encourage you, if you have a student at South Plains College, or if you are a student at South Plains College, I think one of the biggest takeaways on this are, in the darkness, there arises some really neat things. And some big pieces there that will continue to shape South Plains College and grow South Plains College beyond what it is now, which we already think it's fantastic. But I think there's a lot of opportunities there. I love the piece with the counselors. I think that is such a very important piece, is that they are able to meet each student that needs to be met with, and they're able to encourage them. Because you know what? One thing I know is, I just had this conversation, and I'm sure I'm not the only parent of a college student out there that's had this conversation. In fact, Michael and I were talking about it the other day, and we both have had these conversations with our kiddos in college. Is, hey, do you think maybe I ought to take a year off? And this is a typical kid conversation.
Yep.
Do you think maybe this is the time because of all these things? And what was your answer, Michael?
Really?
What was your
We're
answer?
going to bring this up here right now.
What was your answer in a short form?
In the short form was, it's easy to walk away. It's hard to go back.
That's exactly right.
exactly
And I
Easy
said
to walk away,
exactly
hard
the
to go
same
back.
thing. Because you know this. Your Board of Regents knows this. The teachers know this. If you can keep them engaged, if you can keep them going, just like your summer classes you just talked about, you can keep them there, then they will finish.
And
They
now
will
is the
get through.
time, whether you're a current student, stick with it.
Yeah.
If you're thinking about going to college, now's the time to go.
Yeah.
And I can't emphasize enough, there are federal subsidies to help students get through this time.
Yep.
And so that's what we really wanted to focus on. One last thing, and I know that you reported on it. One of the things that we're very sad about is we had to cancel our graduation this year. And that was a very, very difficult decision for us, because that's the time we get to celebrate the students' accomplishments. And sometimes this is a once in a lifetime opportunity for many of our students, and we really hated that. We're trying to do something special for them. They're trying to get something in their hands that commemorates what they've done and the accomplishments they've had.
Yes.
And then we're inviting them back to come next year. But that was a difficult decision. That is a change that we're trying to make sure that people know that we had to make, but hopefully we'll we aren't the only ones that are doing
No.
it, and I'm fearful there's probably more to come with that. But it's the right thing to do. It's a safe thing to do for our students in our communities.
Absolutely. You know what? They still aren't any less graduated.
That's exactly right. They still get the degree. That's right.
And that will serve them for many, many, many years to come. Dr. Satterwhite, thank you so much.
Thank you for letting me be
Thank
here.
the Board of Regents as well. I know some hard decisions have had to be made, but they're doing a great job.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. We're going to take a quick break. We've got more Good Morning Texas straight ahead.
Chevrolet, find new roads. Go to JohnRowleyLevelland.com today. John Rowley joins us. John, there's lots of great stuff on sale at John Rowley Auto Center, and you're out there open and ready to save people money every day.
Well, thank you, Michael. We sure are. We've got tremendous specials. We've got 0 for 84 on several vehicles. If you can believe that, 0%.
0% APR for well-qualified buyers when you finance through GM Financial. Plus, it's truck month going on right now at John Rowley Auto Center. They need to come out and save money on the new 2020 Silverados.
Well, you can. They're brand new, new body style last year, and they've got a lot of new technologies and a little better gas mileage here and there and different things. So it's a good time to trade. They're great new trucks. We've got the Chevy Silverados, and then, of course, we've got other cars out here. You can shop online at John Rowley Levelland. We can do most of the car business over the phone.
Plus, save money, and you're doing that every day when you shop with John Rowley Levelland online, JohnRowleyLevelland.com.
Are you in the market for temporary housing? Are you a family, single parent, college student, senior citizen, or just an individual struggling to make ends meet? Are you looking for that one thing that can help you stay in your budget? The Levelland Housing Authority has a home for you. They have programs that may be able to help. They currently do not accept Section 8, but do have other programs. If you are looking for a 1, 2, or 3-bedroom home, they have newly renovated locations with central heat and air, washer and dryer hookups, and they would love to show you. Stop by 1837 Avenue I, Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. or contact Olga at 894-9075. Applicant will fill out a quick application and be subject to a background check. The Levelland Housing Authority, equal housing opportunity.
Welcome back. We're 4 after 9 at KLVT Levelland, KLVTradio.com, KLVT Facebook Live. Check your AIM-Bank birthday bash coming up here in just a few moments. In the meantime, I need a little update from the Mallet Event Center, which is closed, fair enough, but they're open online. They're open through social media, booking events, because, let's face it, they book up fast.
That's right. And on the docket, now keep in mind, may not happen, but on the docket, all right? Tri-State High School Rodeo coming up the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. That is coming up at the Mallet Event Center. National Day of Prayer slated for May 7th. They've got a dynamic team roping on the 9th and 10th. And then a couple of private events as we head to the end of May for the reschedule of the of the ABC Pro Rodeo, and that'll start on May 28th. So there you go, a little check of the Mallett Event Center. Find them online, malletteventcenter.com/events. We're going to take a break. We've got your AIM Bank birthdays up next.
When it comes to keeping your family cool this summer, you need a HVAC system that's Reliant. Give Reliant Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning a call at 778-0421 and ask about the AC maintenance specials. Reliant has 0% financing available and $1,500 rebate with a $750 instant cash back on qualifying units. Restrictions apply. Keep your home and business temperature controlled. 778-0421. You can rely on Reliant Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
All right, we're going to celebrate some birthdays today, the 15th day of April. Happy birthday to Cody Sanchez, Kevin Crowley, Stephanie Cuevas, and Lucas Bontrager. Happy birthday to those that are
bombs
celebrating.
away to you.
Bombs away.
Bombs away, Bontrager.
All right. Well, do you have any famous birthdays you want to throw in?
Hermione Granger is turning 30, otherwise known as Emma Watson from the Harry Potter series.
There you go.
She is turning 30 years old today, so happy birthday to her. Happy birthday to Seth Rogen. He's a funny guy. He's 38 years old today, is Seth Rogen. Been in a ton of different movies. Let's see. Emma Thompson is 61. Emma Thompson was in Much Ado About Nothing, Nanny McPhee, Love Actually, Stranger Than Fiction, Sense and Sensibility. She won an Academy Award for Best Actress. She's been around quite a while. Emma Thompson is turning 61 years old today. Also, let's see if we got anybody else on this calendar we need to celebrate. Oh, we should probably mention that today is the birthday of one Leonardo da Vinci. Born in 1452, the painter died in 1519. Of course, would be known as an inventor, an artist, a musician, an architect, and the very famous painter of the Mona Lisa and the Last Supper. That's all the works of Da Vinci. Da Vinci was born on this date in 1452, died in 1519. So happy birthday to Leonardo da Vinci.
All right, there's your AIM Bank birthdays. Ready, AIM Bank. We're going to take a break. We've still got some TSN to go. We are going to check in with Gary McLendon from TxDOT. All of that still ahead.
At AIM Bank, we believe in genuine hometown relationships. Over the past 90 years, AIM Bank has continued to grow while staying dedicated to the areas we serve. Today, we're one of the strongest community banks in West Texas. We're proud to provide our customers with quick local loan decisions and the time and attention necessary to understand your banking needs. We know that strong partnerships are crucial for growth and success. AIM Bank. Strong growth from local partners. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
The Levelland Main Street is proud to support our Main Street merchants today and every day. We would like to take a moment to direct you to some resources available at downtownlevelland.com. We have provided a full list of Main Street businesses with mode of operation, hours, and updates on temporary closures. We also have a database with links and information from loans to grants for small businesses due to COVID-19. The Levelland Main Street proudly serving our local businesses yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
TSN News. I'm Chris Summer. The latest on the coronavirus in Texas. More than 14,600 cases reported statewide. COVID-19 has killed 318 people in Texas. The latest numbers show the total patients currently hospitalized is back over 1,400. Harris County continues to see twice as many coronavirus cases than any other county in the state. Some well-known Texas billionaires among those asked to be advisors to the president when it comes to getting America going again.
Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones and Mavericks owner Mark Cuban have been asked to serve on a panel helping President Trump decide on how to reopen the economy. They join more than 200 top leaders like Ross Perot Jr. and ExxonMobil's Darren Woods, and other household names like Apple boss Tim Cook, Amazon's Jeff Bezos, and Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg. The president says he would likely announce today the names of elected officials, including governors and members of Congress. Chelsea Wade, TSN News.
Federal grants and loans coming to both Southwest and American to help the airlines keep employees on the payroll. TSN's Austin York says this will also help the two big airports in North Texas.
Dallas-based Southwest Airlines gets $4.2 billion in grants and loans. Fort Worth-based American Airlines will get $5.8. Billy Sanes of GoFlyMore.com says this will not only help the airlines, but both major airports.
There's a lot of business that go beyond Southwest and American that support it. And this doesn't only just help those people, but it ensures that hopefully those businesses don't have as much loss as other sectors would.
By taking the grants, airlines agree not to furlough or reduce pay rates for employees. American has about 130,000 employees. Southwest has more than 60,000. Austin York, TSN News.
And several other airports across the state will also get money. The state's juvenile prisons will temporarily stop accepting people from local jails for the next 2 weeks to try to limit the spread of COVID-19. It's time for a TSN Business Update, brought to you by Texas Mutual Insurance Company. We got an ugly national retail sales report last hour. That key number down 0.7% in March. And reports say the economic trauma of the pandemic could force JCPenney into a bankruptcy filing. This is TSN News.
Don't let Roundup Weed Killer wind up costing you your health. If you were recently diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma and have used Roundup in the past, call attorney Terry Bryant now for a free consultation. 713-973-8888. Terry Bryant is fighting hard to uproot this dangerous product and get you the financial relief you deserve. Call today. 713-973-8888. That's 713-973-8888. Likely to refer Houston, Texas.
JR and Kim built the barn home of their dreams thanks to Mueller.
I was inspired by all of the options we saw on the Mueller website. I really wanted to bring in some of our surroundings, including metal and wood together, kind of marrying our acreage or our lot, incorporating like an industrial modern look.
Working with Mueller was awesome. What I loved about the Mueller rep was that he gave us options. If I had a question, he would answer it.
We found the best with Mueller.
Visit our website today at MuellerInc.com.
Presumptive Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden picks up another endorsement from former rival Elizabeth Warren. Some shops are starting to reopen in Europe, but it appears most consumers are afraid to go. Countries including China are using technology to monitor the movement of citizens out in public. A new AP report says China held back important information on the coronavirus back in January. President Trump is standing by his decision to pull funding from the World Health Organization. The struggles continue for oil, which is up a fraction after falling below $20 a barrel. Stocks, the Dow Jones down nearly 500 points. I'm Chris Summer, TSN News.
Are you in the market for temporary housing? Are you a family, single parent, college student, senior citizen, or just an individual struggling to make ends meet? Are you looking for that one thing that can help you stay in your budget? The Levelland Housing Authority has a home for you. They have programs that may be able to help. They currently do not accept Section 8, but do have other programs. If you are looking for a 1, 2, or 3-bedroom home, they have newly renovated locations with central heat and air, washer and dryer hookups, and they would love to show you. Stop by 1837 Avenue I, Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., or contact Olga at 894-9075. Applicant will fill out a quick application and be subject to a background check. The Levelland Housing Authority, equal housing opportunity.
KLVT keeping you weather connected in Levelland, Olton, Meadow, and your community with the KLVT Weathercast. Sunny at 66 today. That with the southwest wind at 10 to 15. It will increase 15 to 20 this afternoon. Clearing 42 tonight, then sunshine and 79 for your Thursday. We'll keep you weather connected. KLVT Levelland, KLVTradio.com. Stewart's Pit Stop on Clubview Drive in Levelland is all about the social distancing. You can stay right in your car while your services are provided. Full services on your car, truck, SUV, and your diesel too. Stewart's Pit Stop. Call 897-LOOP or slide on in to 514 Clubview Drive in Levelland. Stewart's Pit Stop. Slide on in. Change is good.
Every morning, the McDonald's kitchen is a symphony. A sizzling, toasty McMuffin symphony. Cue the eggs. While other grab-and-go breakfast sandwiches are kind of one note. It's time to wake up breakfast. Wake up your breakfast with a fresh cracked egg on every McMuffin sandwich every day at McDonald's.
Welcome back. Good morning, Texas, here at KLVT Levelland, KLVTradio.com, KLVT Facebook Live. Glad to have you along this morning. Of course, we've got lots of stuff to go yet. We're going to do some What Say You. We're going to check some weather. We're also going to be back with your Who, What, When, Where, Why, and Weeks this afternoon here on KLVT Levelland, KLVTradio.com, KLVT Facebook Live. We're 17 after the hour of 9.
Things that I may never see again. I can't wait to get on the road again.
That's right, that guy that's out there on the road again.
You would.
Sign in his hand, orange vest.
Rose.
Leaning on a shovel.
Hey, dude.
Yes.
Where's your mask?
You have arrived because
I
you got a theme song.
I got a theme song.
Where's your mask?
Theme song.
Huh?
Where's your mask?
In my pocket.
Why aren't you wearing your mask?
I got it. It's over the right part.
It's in your pocket?
It's in my pocket.
It's not helping me if it's in your pocket.
Well, you ain't got one on, so. And I'm 6 foot. Social distancing
He's
here.
like, yeah.
Right.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about for COVID-19. That wasn't my point. Where's your mask?
I can't.
Oh.
You just don't want to cover up this kind of beauty, Mike.
Oh my goodness.
You know,
it is getting deep.
It is.
Here.
It's this kind of beauty, you know.
Wow.
I haven't seen Clutch for a while. You know?
Yeah, I haven't seen. I know.
I'm feeling the bromance here. Yeah.
You know it all.
Yeah. There you go.
What's going on, man?
Oh, dude, just nothing. Just work. That's showing up every day, doing what we're supposed to do. That's what they tell us. So
y'all are essential.
We are. Yes,
yeah.
we really are. Yeah. You know, it's hard to do. It's hard to do road work from the house.
A little bit.
You can't phone it in when you're.
Oh. Yeah, no, that's a little difficult to get it done from the house.
Telecommuting road construction.
Now they have sent inside the highway department, I will tell you, they've sent about a third of those people home. Everybody that works mostly in the district complex or down in Austin, all of them. So it's about, I would guess, roughly 5,000 people inside of TxDOT are teleworking. You know, but for us, it's not possible.
Yeah.
It's pretty hard to scoop dirt.
It really is.
From your desk.
And regardless if they close the state down or not, commodities have to move. and people are still moving. And
exactly right.
So
Transportation still has to happen.
And there's no way, you know. And fortunately, I have a great group of guys that I work with that they understand this, and they're all on the same page, and you know it doesn't affect them at all. We rolled right along and continue to do the same work we've been doing. So it's been a little crazy, but you know it's what it is, and you know it's what you got to do.
Well, let's talk about one that I think you finished up, or you almost finished up, right? There's one that just came to completion that you guys were working on.
Which one is that? We got a bunch of them. I got all kinds of things going on. Good.
Okay, so this is where you pick up the ball. This is where you pick up the ball I just threw, and then you start like rolling with it.
Well, okay, so I'll tell you where you're probably talking about West 114. They put out a press release on West 114. Actually, was not done by us.
Oh.
Cochran County takes care of all the way up to the Copal Switch Gin Road, which is 303 that goes south. They work that, and we had some areas out there that were pushed real bad and sunk in, so they dug them up and they finished that up a couple days ago. We're going to work on our half. We have a spot real close there that is in the same vicinity, but I didn't want to put two road work areas up at the same time.
Yeah, probably not the best.
No, not the best plan of action. Yeah. So I let them finish what they're doing, and we're actually going out there to fix that spot today. So
okay, all right. Well, give us an update on what you're working on and some of the big projects that are still yet to come.
We have several things. I mean, tons of things. Like right now, we're working on that spot out here. We're going to 1585 from 385 to the Lubbock County line. That'll all be seal coated this summer.
Oh wow!
And so I've had some issues with my distributor, our asphalt distributor, for the last 6 months. We've ran it. Well, I haven't run it at all. We ran it about 30 days in the last 12 months. We've had tons of issues with it, and in my business, that's bad. It's really bad. But we got it up back and running, so we're out there. We're overlaying low spots and patches in between. We don't have that many. That road's in pretty good shape, but that road will be seal coated this summer.
Okay.
And then the other road that'll be seal coated, the district seal will be from through Ropes to the Lubbock County line.
Okay.
So those two projects, those are big projects, long stretches. For people in Sundown, however, next month, like the 15th or the 18th of next month, we will be in Sundown. And we're going to seal coat 303 through Sundown and 301 as well.
Oh, wow. So, that'd be nice.
Yeah, so we're going to knock out the town section there in Sundown next month. That's coming up.
Okay.
The projects that are south, 385 from Levelland to Brownfield.
Okay.
Those are two separate entities. The one from the light to the city limits is done by Alan Butler. That project, if you hadn't been through there, they're finished. They're still working on those driveways, and I'm gonna tell y'all what, if y'all hadn't been through there to see some of them elaborate dudes that they've put in.
Nice work.
Well, yeah, well, them folks are getting some dollars spent in their front yards. Those things, you know, on the average, probably between $9,000 and $12,000
wow.
a piece. Plus,
so there you go for your inconvenience. We're gonna give you.
Yeah, it is inconvenient. You know, as we all know, road work is inconvenient.
Yeah.
But you know, when that project, after we got it done and got, you know, at least got the first surface down, you could see the finished product of it, of how it cleaned up that area. You know, yeah, there were some pretty trees out there in the right of way. We did remove a lot of them, but it opened the whole area up.
Yeah.
And really made it nice. And now they're working on those. They'll be back here. The first or second week of May. Now, that's for people to know that first or second week of May, they're going to close the road. It's going to go back to one lanes, and they're going to be coming back, putting the final 2 inches of hot mix on top of the roadway. But they'll still be working on those driveways as well. At the golf course, however, it straight up like this, and they were going to do some crazy stuff, sawed it, but we finally got them to convinced that we need to put a retaining wall in right there.
Oh.
So that was added. So there'll be a retaining wall on that side, clean all that area up and take care of that.
Yeah, just make it look better and get it cleaned up, and you know, and not only that,
you can't mow it.
Exactly. I mean, with that kind of a depth and that kind of fall off, mowing it out would be near impossible.
Yeah, and when we talk about change orders and projects, we've had some out there. As you drive and you look on the west side of the road, you'll see You'll see slopes in people's driveways. You'll see retaining walls. Well, the dirt's so high that we couldn't cut it down. So we went through there, and all that's change order money. Okay, that's extra money added on to the project. So in those instances, those add, $1,000 to each one of those driveways. The retaining wall there at the golf course will probably add about $35,000 to $40,000.
Wow!
When we put that in, it's gonna be a highly expensive, but it's really gonna dress that area up as well.
Well, no, you dress it up, and dirt work costs money. So
It
if
does.
I'm going to slope that and grade all that to a point where I can actually mow it, at some point you're at the point of diminishing return, whether you're moving dirt or putting in a retaining wall. There's some point where that's got to break over the top
It is,
of each other.
and a lot of people don't realize how expensive road work is.
Mhm.
Okay, so we worked on the north half of 385 a couple years ago, got the Super 2 put in, and now they're putting the Super 2 into Brownfield. This project from Brownfield to the Lamb County line, $68 million.
Holy
is what it's costing, and the little section in town right there is just under $9 million of it. I mean, it's a ton of cash. Now that doesn't include the College Avenue project that's coming in. It's going to be about $12 million.
Mhm.
So we're
And
looking.
when is that slated?
That was supposed to start the 31st of March.
I know you're tired of talking about that.
Well, it's getting a little frustrating, I have to admit, but I mean, not from people asking me questions. So,
No, I know what you're saying.
At the end of March, the contractor didn't have all his paperwork situated and ready, so they moved it back to the 13th. Well, they had a meeting with them Monday, and to discuss hard deadline, hard start date. So they're trying to nail one of those down, and hopefully that'll be the 1st of May.
Okay.
And if
That's what we're shooting for.
Yeah, if that doesn't happen, then there's going to be some other things. Go to see where the state heads in different direction, and try to get this project going. I don't want anybody to think this project is not going. This project is online.
Okay.
It is rolling. No matter what happens, it's going.
Okay.
So-
Anything else that you need to talk about before we let you go?
Well, the South project from the city limits to the Brownfield city limits. That's a long project.
Mhm.
That they're going to come back. Okay, so they went through and they cut bad spots out of the road where they patched it. I don't know how many people have been to Brownfield, but you'll see these smooth sections of roadway where they patched them. All those patches have fallen apart. They've cracked up, and the cleachie's pumping back through. They're going to go back and have to fix all of those again.
Okay.
So you're going to see lots of skips in places where they're going to have road construction in 2 or 3 spots in between there, and they're going to be digging those spots back out and replacing them before they come back and put the hot mix down.
Okay.
When they start putting the hot mix down, the delay on that road is going to be long because they're going to stretch it out where they can shoot, 2, 3, 4 miles at a time. So expect delays this summer going south on 385 all summer long.
Okay.
Expect it. If you
Give yourself more time if you're working here or there.
if you got to go that direction, give yourself more time and to get there, because there are going to be delays in between here and Brownfield over the summertime.
Okay. Well, there you go. Any other questions, Michael, from you? Jody? All right.
I'm good.
All right. Well, they miss you if you can't tell.
Yeah, I see that. I'm just all excited.
Sports.
I'm just impressed you're still around and working, man. I really,
Yeah, you surprised they ain't fired me yet?
Ain't no Morton baseball to play, so
Ugh.
I'm impressed you're still out there being a productive member of society.
I try to. My boss requires it.
There you go.
No sports means it's not my turn to watch you.
I know. So you can't keep an eye on me now.
It's been a great stress relief for me.
Oh,
I gotta be
yeah, I'm
honest
sure.
with you.
I'm sure
Not
it
having
has
to keep
been.
track of you.
Gary,
Shambles,
thank
the
you.
rest of you chuckleheads.
Thank you so much for coming in.
You're welcome,
Thanks for-
Tanya.
Yeah.
You're welcome, Tanya.
Yeah.
We'll make sure I get that in there.
We're going to take a quick break. If you have any questions on those projects from TxDOT or any others, of course, you can reach out to them. They've got an office here locally, and they're still going, still running like normal. So if you have any questions, give them a call. We're going to take a quick break. We've got more Good Morning Texas after this.
Everyone is invited to join us at the First Christian Church at 311 Clubview Drive. Join us every Sunday for Bible study with Moki and Kay McCrary at 9:30 and for worship services at 10:45 with Jesse and Liz Hodge. Come and find and know God in the name of Christ our Savior at First Christian Church in Levelland. We hope to see you soon.
With over 30 years of presence in the Permian Basin, Chemtech Services is just the right size to provide exceptional customer service and generate value by providing expertise and problem solving in oil and gas operations. Dedicated to providing quality products, solutions, and exceptional customer service to the oil and gas industry. It's Chemtech Services, 894-8172 or 432-684-0862.
Doing their part to help with the COVID-19 TRICARE Medical Equipment and Wanda's Designs and Embroidery are asking that if you need something in the medical or monogramming arenas, call 894-0144. They can bring your order out to your vehicle, and they also offer medical delivery in the office every day and happy to serve your needs in any way they can. It's TRICARE Medical and Wanda's Designs, 894-0144.
Drivers have a big responsibility when they're on the road, and 680 pedestrians died on Texas roads in 2016. We all share a responsibility to bring that number to zero. If you're driving, always watch for pedestrians. If you're walking or jogging, always use a crosswalk and look out for oncoming vehicles. And everyone should put their phones away and pay attention. On foot or behind the wheel, always follow traffic laws. Be safe, drive smart. A message from TxDOT.
KLVT, keeping you weather connected in Smyers, Shallowater, Amherst, and your community with the KLVT Weathercast. Sunny at 66 today. That with the southwest wind at 10 to 15. It will increase 15 to 20 this afternoon. Clearing 42 tonight, then sunshine and 79 for your Thursday. We'll keep you weather connected. KLVT Levelland, KLVTradio.com. Choose the best barbecue around at the Fort J. Choo Choo Barbecue Trailer at 510 Clubview Drive in Levelland. Let's talk variety. We're bringing you different flavors every day of the best smoked sandwiches around. We've got daily offerings at Fort J. Choo Choo. Check that out on Facebook. Stop by for the Swing Away Sandwich. 1 full pound of the choicest smoked meats in Texas. Lots of parking, quality fresh meats at a great price. Fort J. Choo Choo Barbecue coming to a plate near you. 510 Clubview Drive, Levelland.
I once heard that land is a timeless investment. It can also be a weekend retreat, a hunter's paradise, a farmer's livelihood, and a refreshing place to raise your kids. Capital Farm Credit is a member-owned lending cooperative specializing in land financing. Our lending staff understands agriculture and country living and can make your dream of land ownership a reality. So my question is, why not Capital Farm Credit? We're the answer.
Welcome back. Good morning, Texas, here at KLVT Levelland, KLVTradio.com, KLVT Facebook Live. By the way, coming up this afternoon, who, what, when, where, why, and East, we're going to talk Keep Levelland Beautiful, because they've won some awards here as of late. Doing a good job. We're also, this afternoon, going to be joined by Dr. John Carlo, who is the chair of the Texas Public Health Coalition. We're going to be joined by him this afternoon as they are discussing what the health world is looking at, healthcare is looking at, while government officials are discussing getting the economy reopened. So we're going to discuss how this impacts the health sector while we're talking about trying to get business reopened, get things moving again. And we're understanding, Jody, the governor is going to speak again at some time today, correct?
Well, we had heard
That's
that,
what we
but
heard.
I'm not getting any confirmation as of that now.
So the governor hasn't decided yet. Well, he might talk today.
May have changed.
He might not talk today. Something. President's fired up about reopening stuff. We'll talk about that coming up this afternoon as well. Who, what, when, where, why, and Weast. By the way, we'll start just after 2 this afternoon. And we are now making some of our video available via YouTube. So if you haven't been on the YouTubes, you can go on the YouTubes.
We're working on that.
We're working on Snapagram.
Goodness.
The YouTubes.
Anyway.
Welcome back. Who the Good Morning Texas?
Yeah.
What show am I on? That show.
Yep, the first one. The one where Jody and I are on.
That's the one.
Yeah, that's it.
Hey, I invite Jody in on the show in the afternoon.
Uh-huh.
You're all jealous and stuff over there.
No.
If I show
that's
up,
what
it's
I am.
usually not any good news.
That's usually true, Rose.
Yeah, that is true.
It's me
Nobody
and
wants
Jody, the
to
bearer
see.
of bad news.
Yeah, nobody wants to see you come onto that show because we know what it's
I'm
going to be.
beginning to gather that.
Yeah.
So you want to do some What Say You?
Yeah. Actually, I've got something for you here.
Okay.
So, everybody's got their opinion, and some people have a little bigger microphone or the ability to wrangle a bigger microphone on the world stage. And apparently, Bill Gates, did you see this one? On Bill Gates and his
And the
opinion.
WHO?
Uh-huh. Yeah, did you see this one?
Well, I haven't read it yet. I saw it. But.
So, Bill Gates, in rebuke of Trump, calls the WHO funding cut during the pandemic as dangerous as it sounds. Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates criticized President Trump's decision to suspend funding to the World Health Organization as dangerous, saying the payments should continue, particularly during the global coronavirus pandemic. Halting funding for the World Health Organization during a world health crisis, is as dangerous as it sounds, Gates tweeted early Wednesday. Their work is slowing the spread of COVID-19, and if that work is stopped, no other organization can replace them. The world needs WHO now more than ever. The United States, the organization's largest donor, has committed to provide the WHO with $893 million during its current 2-year funding period, a State Department spokesperson told the Washington Post. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, the family's giant philanthropy, is the next biggest donor to WHO.
I'll be darned.
After the U.S., accounting for
Who knew?
close to 10% of the United Nations agency funding. So what do you think, Michael? What say you?
You know what's missing from that story?
What?
Bill, if you're listening, you're a great computer guy. Love your computer stuff, dude.
Stay in your lane?
Boom. No, I mean, yeah, we could point out that you're a computer guy, so why would I ask you about healthcare stuff? I'm a little baffled by that. I mean, I've never really gone out to my mechanic and asked him to pull my tooth. I'm sure he could, but probably wouldn't go well, I've never really, gone down to your favorite boutique and attempted to order lunch. Because, typically boutiques sell clothes. My mechanic fixes my car. Here's what's missing from this. Why is this dangerous exactly? Because, Bill, you gave us a Twitter and said, oh, this is very dangerous. This defunding of the WHO is very dangerous. Why? You didn't tell us why. You just decided because, what, you're Bill Gates, that you could just say something and it makes it true? How does that work? Bill, come on, bud. Here's the thing, folks, about the WHO. Will funding resume? Yeah, at some point it may could. I see what you did there. You clever one, you. It's that leopard print coat that you wear. Anyway, the WHO thing. Here's the deal, okay? We are about to we have dropped a massive amount of money into stimulus. Which, again, you can argue some of the stimulus was good, some of the stimulus wasn't good. There was stimulus money in there for the Kennedy Center. Then the Kennedy Center tried to lay off a bunch of people. And then the government went, whoa, we just wrote you a big check. What? Okay. Mm-hmm. So some of this was silly. But as Jody Arrington, Congressman Arrington said, we had to give some stuff to get some stuff.
Yeah.
It wasn't perfect. We didn't have time for perfect. We had time for good and go. Mm-hmm. So, but with that being said, when you start looking at your numbers and you go, okay, so here's what I have that I can get rid of that doesn't seem to be serving me very well anyway. And the WHO is not serving us well. They have not served us well during this crisis. And this isn't the first time the WHO has failed. It's not the first time. So if you're the President of the United States and you can put a hold on this funding, you've done two things. One, you've put yourself in a position of leverage.
And it didn't say they weren't going to pay.
Yeah, they're just holding on to it.
They're holding it
do some
for 60 to 90 days while they investigate.
While we investigate.
Yeah.
Okay. Look, folks, the bottom line is the WHO has dropped the ball more than once. The WHO is a joke. We have the CDC in the United States, which I trust considerably farther than the WHO. But here's the problem with the Bill Gates thing. You didn't tell us why it's dangerous. You just assumed because you're Bill Gates, you can just say, hey, look, the sky's red. And everybody go, oh, yeah, it's red. And instead of bothering to look out the window and go, oh, it's blue. Oh, I'll be darned. You're wrong. It's so disconcerting in the national media to me that somebody who, as you mentioned, has a big microphone, is famous, can just say pretty much anything they want to with zero reasoning behind it, and everybody goes, oh, yeah. Well, Bill Gates says it so. Oh, yeah. That's exactly what I'm going to trust with healthcare. This Bill Gates. That seems logical. Let's put the computer guy in charge of healthcare. Good deal. Good deal.
Jody, you got anything to add?
I kind of tend to agree. Why do you stay in his lane?
Yeah.
As Michael would say.
Give me a reason, man. You didn't give us any reason.
Exactly.
You just said it's dangerous. How?
Yeah.
Well, and
I'll listen to you, Bill. Call me up. Let's talk. We're good.
And I think that's the thing is that if there was a little bit more to it, then that would be one thing. But if you're talking about a 145 character tweet and you're just like this, it sounds like the sky is falling.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what it sounds like. It doesn't sound, there's no rationale. We're just going to throw things at the wall and see what sticks.
But part of this fault gets put on the national media.
Yeah.
Because Bill Gates said people write 14 paragraphs around, 150 characters. Now Bill Gates will do an interview with somebody on this because it's Bill Gates. I have a lot of respect for Bill Gates. And the foundation's fantastic. They do a lot of good.
Hugely philanthropic.
Exactly.
Hugely. And
again, I'm a huge fan of their computer stuff.
Yeah.
I like Microsoft. I use Microsoft. I think Microsoft's top shelf. But again, I don't go out to my mechanic and ask him to pull a tooth. I mean, he could. I could call Daryl right now. He could probably get a pair of pliers. We'd probably be fine. But this is Ryan Reynolds all over again.
Yeah.
When Ryan Reynolds said, you know what, in this time of crisis, we turn to celebrities because they're the most important people other than,
Imaginary
first
friends.
responders, healthcare providers, necessary businesses, imaginary friends, tennis players, ping pong players, whatever. Bill Gates spoke and everybody went, oh, hail the great Bill Gates. Dude. If you can get my computer to stop updating every 3 days, I'll take that.
Yeah, no kidding.
Could the WHO do that for me?
Could they do that?
all right, well, we're going to take a quick break. We've got a little bit more What Say You coming up. Stick around. We'll be back.
It's one of the best kept shopping secrets around. It's the Potting Shed at Cox Auto Supply in Morton. Jewelry, home decor, clothing, fabulous footwear, and more. Check out household goodies for every room in your home. Any gift, any time of the year, and for any occasion. It's the Potting Shed at Cox Auto Supply in Morton. Open 7 to 6 Monday through Saturday. Stop by and say hi and learn of the shopping secret that is the Potting Shed at 210 South Main in Morton.
For breakfast or lunch, when you're in a hurry, social distancing, no worry at Olivo's Food Truck at 1708 Avenue H in Levelland. Fresh, fast, and homemade, including amazing breakfast burritos and great hamburgers for lunch. Yes, they have carne asada, barbacoa, and even menudo on Friday and Saturday. Big order, small order, and even drive-through service. Open Monday through Saturday, 7 to 2 at 1708 Avenue H in Levelland. Olivo's Food Truck, great food, great friends, and a great price.
Welcome back. Good morning, Texas, here at KLVT Levelland, KLVTradio.com, KLVT Facebook Live. More What Say You. You knew this was coming. It's here. You knew this was going to shake out. Because the Democratic Party is now demanding that stimulus payments as part of the coronavirus response include illegal immigrants.
Of course they did.
Yes, of course.
Part of an ongoing effort to eliminate all barriers in public assistance for those in the country without documentation. The $2 trillion stimulus package passed by Congress and signed into law by the president gives small business loans and assistance to individuals in the form of direct payments, which, by the way, Steve Mnuchin said would be going out in 2 weeks. He actually beat that 2 weeks. I know places that they showed up in 12 days. Just so you're aware, national media. At any rate, the direct deposits are rolling out, being distributed to people with Social Security numbers. I'll be darned. While that includes working illegal immigrants, like those here on non-immigrant work visas or student visas, things like that, who have Social Security numbers in order to work in the United States, it does not include those who are not documented. Okay? Democratic lawmakers have seized on the distinction to claim that hardworking immigrants will be left out of payments, although working legal immigrants will not be. And you'll never guess who's behind this. Let's take a wild guess day. You want to take a wild guess?
Is it AOC?
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez in a Twitter said, to clarify, $1,200 checks are only going to some with Social Security numbers, not immigrants with tax IDs. Thanks to GOP, these checks won't be cut off by backs of tax-paying immigrants who get nothing. Many essential workers who get more tax than Amazon. Wall Street gets $4 trillion bailout. Yeah. Because AOC knows everything.
Hey, Michael.
Except all sentences end in a question mark.
Hey, Michael. Yeah. I want starting tomorrow, I'd like for you to give my kids an allowance, okay? Is that cool with you? Will you give my kids,
want me to
Jody?
give your
Jody,
kids an allowance?
I want you to give my kids an allowance tomorrow, starting. Is that
give
okay?
my
Is that
kids
good
an
with
allowance.
you?
I don't think so.
Is that good with you? Why? Why is that not good with you?
They're not my kids.
They're not
Yeah.
my kids. Folks, I'm sorry, but this is like, to me, a no-brainer. And this is one of those that just gets my blood boiling. We already are handing out the farm in some cases to people that are not here legally. To me, this does not even make any sense that we're going to go ahead and give tax dollars that we paid, and we're going to give them back to people that did not pay said tax dollars and are not here in our country legally.
Teddy Rose, you want to jump in here?
I agree 100%. They're not here legally. Why are we going to pay them?
Now, legally and or on visas or whatever else? Yeah, absolutely. Good job. Sure. I don't have a problem with that one iota.
I'm going to help you out with something. Do you remember 6 months ago, 8 months ago, we were talking about the census? And they said, the left said, well, the illegal immigrants, if you ask the question about immigration status on the census, illegal immigrants won't fill out the census. And unless we can get them to fill out the census, we can't get a count on how many illegal immigrants. We can't track them, basically, is what the argument was. And the Republicans are saying that's why we want the immigration status question on it, so we have some sort of number, some sort of head count of any kind would be great. So let me just ask you this, AOC, because, again, I asked Bill Gates, what is the big threat of this? Why is this dangerous? I'm going to ask you, how would you even go about doing this? Even if you had the money, let's just say magically $4 trillion falls out of the sky and lands in Washington.
And we're just going to give everybody money.
Everybody gets money.
Yeah. Where do you
How
send it?
in the world do you document this if you don't know who these people are?
Or
And
where
they
to
have
send it.
no documentation
Yeah.
that they're even here. I mean, I look at it from this standpoint, I'd give my imaginary friend $100. Would you give my imaginary friend $100? Oh, you can't see my imaginary friend? You don't know where to find him? You know how to... This is ridiculous from the standpoint of
It's
logistically.
insane.
Yeah.
It is insane.
It's truly not even possible.
Yeah.
If you have no documentation in order to who's getting this money, where's this money being sent to? You've got $1,200 for the adult, you get $500 for the kids under the age of 18. Well, how many do you have? Oh, I don't have that documentation either. What, am I just supposed to throw some random number out there and hope I get it right? It's even the logistics of this.
It's crazy.
I am so impressed with the Secretary of the Treasury, Steve Mnuchin, for figuring out the logistics on what they figured out.
No kidding.
Hand the SBA stuff to local banks because they're going to be faster than everybody else. Great move. Great move. Give it to local banks because local banks, they work at the, as again, Congressman Arrington said, they work at the speed of business, not the speed of bureaucracy, which means it's going to move faster. You've got people who are getting direct deposit already on stimulus money. That was 2 weeks, folks, and to me, that's mind-blowing.
Yeah. No kidding.
Man, you want to slow the process down? Let's see if we can figure out who in the country isn't documented so we can, walk up and hand them cash? Come on. This is just silly. Just silly. You brought up an interesting point a minute ago about airlines and the massive reductions in travel. But, again, the hit to the airline industry is a lot bigger, I think, than people would understand or comprehend.
It is massive. Folks, when you're thinking about, I think about my business. I know you guys are thinking about your businesses. We have got small businesses all over our little community. Multiply that by, hundreds of thousands, and you've got over our country, and then multiply it over the world over. I mean, tons of businesses are being affected. But I want you to think about this. I mean, I would be the first to admit I haven't lost 95% of my business. I've lost some.
Sure.
But I've not lost 95%. I can't even imagine what the airlines are going through. And I want you to put yourself in their shoes. Because, sure, all day long we could go, they're the airlines. They've got tons of money. They also cost a lot of money to run. And they employ a lot of people. And they are responsible for a lot of jobs and families and support. Not just to getting us from point A to point B, but for actually providing families with a paycheck. So airline travels, I want you to listen closely to this, because when I heard this number, I was like, my jaw dropped. I had no idea it was that big. Almost every day over the past 3 weeks, the number of people flying in the United States has reached a record low as the pandemic has kept people home. On Tuesday, the levels crossed a stark dividing line. Okay. U.S. people flying. More than 2 million people flew on the corresponding day last year. 2 million people flew per day. Okay? On Tuesday, it was fewer than 100,000.
It's ridiculous.
100,000. You're talking about their numbers. They've lost 95% of their business. That is crazy. So, when you hear all these people taking to the microphones and saying, oh, they're a big airline, they don't deserve bailouts, they don't deserve this or that, would you like to fly again? Would you like to have that those routes reopen? Would you like to be able to have the freedom to travel intercontinental through the continental U.S., et cetera, et cetera? Pick your poison. But if we don't help out the airlines, that is going to be a stark reality, is that we won't have that freedom to travel like we did.
Well, and it was interesting what the president was saying. It was yesterday, the day before, but he was talking about the stimulus money that's going to the airline industry and the fact that, of course, anytime you take money out of the government budget and you start handing it out, the immediate word is bailout. Mm-hmm. And that's the buzzword, bailout. We bailed out the automotive industry. We bailed out the banks. We bailed out this. We bailed out that.
I don't think it's free money.
It's not free money, and the interesting part of this is, according to the president, and also what I heard from Secretary of Treasury Steve Mnuchin, is the United States government, amongst major carriers, are actually going to own a percentage of the business.
Yeah.
which is very, very interesting to me. Now, it's not going to be such a percentage
that they have
that they have some sort of strange control.
Right.
But when you go in and you buy 10% of a business, let's just say I bought 10% of KLVT Radio for $10,000. I give you my $10,000. You give me 10%. As long as the business is making money, I'm getting returns on my $10,000. My $10,000 always exists, but I'm getting returns on this money. And I think for the president, it's a
business deal.
This is going to look like a great business deal.
It's a business deal. And the dude knows how to make money.
He does. And here's what happens. I have heard about 9,000 different people say this, that when restaurants reopen, I'm going out to eat the first day to my favorite place, and I don't care what it costs me. I have heard when resorts and hotels reopen, we're going out first day. I don't care what. Guess what? When the airlines get to the point where there's places in the country that are open, the reason nobody's flying is because there's no place to go.
Right.
It's not that hard.
Yeah.
You've got some states that are like Michigan that, you can't walk down the sidewalk and turn left because
or if you leave your state and you go to
may not get
another
come
one,
back.
well, or you may have to be stuck in place for 2 weeks.
Exactly. And I'd hate to be stuck, like it's in St. Bart's or Key West
I know,
for 2
I was
weeks.
kind of
That'd be
thinking,
terrible.
man, why
That'd be
wasn't
awful.
I in Hawaii?
Anyway, but the point is, when it reopens, it's going to be a massive run on the airline industry.
My goodness.
Not only for the
and
purpose
what is the
of
stock
business.
going to do, and what is it's
Bingo.
all going to go straight up.
It's simple supply and demand. It's not that tricky. It is, okay, now let's just say tomorrow the country reopens. Across the board, whoop, everybody's open, all countries, whoop, coronavirus is gone. The airlines aren't going to be able to put enough flights in the air. Not only between business travelers trying to catch up on everything that they've missed out, because, again, we have done a good job, I think, at telecommuting, but there's only so much you can do there, and there's only so far you're willing to let that client, especially overseas, hang without seeing your face, so on and so forth. But the other thing is travelers, people that have money to travel, who postpone vacations, who got refunds on stuff, that money still exists.
Yeah.
Because those people that had that already set up, that money just didn't vaporize. It didn't just disappear. They're going to go right back to, hey, let's jump on an airplane. Let's go here. The airline rush is going to be massive. And quite frankly, if I'm not the get-rich-quick guy. I am not a market analyst. But I don't know that buying airline stock right now would be such a bad deal.
Well,
because when this thing takes off.
Yeah. But again, look at the president. He knows how to make money. He knows a good investment when he sees it. The government doesn't want to be further in debt. Trust me on this. So right now, showing a little prowess and a little proactivity on maybe hedging your bets and maybe regaining some. Doesn't seem like too bad an idea to me.
Well, and again, I think that expands out into the restaurant business. I think it expands out into the hotel business. I think it expands out into a lot of things that people have missed, and they've missed greatly. I'm thoroughly expecting if Major League Baseball ever gets back on track, ticket sales are going to be astronomical.
Oh, my goodness.
They're going to be record setters if and when we get back to some sort of Major League Baseball season.
All right, folks, that's it. We are out of here. Thanks for hanging out with us today. We'll be back tomorrow. Don't forget Michael's show at 2. Stay smart, stay safe, stay sane.
Best in the West, KLVT, and online at klvtradio.com with your host, Tanya Moody.
So I'm sitting there and I'm kind of in la-la land.
News with Jody Rose.
And it looks to be mostly a routine meeting. Get out for midnight.
And sports with Michael Weiss.
Well, I learn something new from them every day, I'm sure, because they're an educational lot there.
Join us each and every weekday morning from 7:30 to 9 for more Good Morning Texas on KLVT AM 1230 and online at klvtradio.com.
KLVT Levelland, managed by Cute Boots Broadcasting, LLC.
Wow, them's cute boots.
Chevrolet, find new roads. Go online. Go to JohnRowleyLevelland.com today. And at John Rowley Auto Center, look, doing business every day, just in a different way. John Rowley joins us. And, John, if they're still needing that vehicle serviced, you guys can hook them up with no problem.
Well, thank you, Michael. We sure are. We've taken many precautions to keep the building and clean, along with different things that we're doing for our employees, for health, safety, and for their cars. The customers' cars that come in that we work on, we're taking care of those in a much different fashion than what we used to. So we're on board. We recognize that people are concerned, but we want them to know we've taken all the precautions here we can, and we're going to have a good business relationship. We'll come and pick up your car. We'll deliver your car, whatever we need to do to keep business going. But just because, this is going on doesn't mean that we're not open for business.
The